There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharply to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to...
Good evening, all, and welcome to MUFC Realist TV. I'm your host, Jarvis Cocker, on Jarvis's Corner. Tonight, we're going to speak about the the departure of Ruud van Nistelrooy and his staff, René Hackey and the other guys leaving. Amorim don't want them on their team, so we will speak a little bit about it. We will talk about the latest that came out from Fabrizio Romano tonight with David Coote, the Premier League referee who's been suspended with immediate effect pending a full video investigation. And we will. I'm very excited listening to Stu's take on that one. And and my co-host here on my left, I'm so excited listening about what has happened this weekend with the mighty Tipton Town.
The mighty Tipton Town are on hibernation. So over 50s football in the UK, they won't allow us to play weekly. So on occasions we have a mini break in between to rest our aching limbs at our age, and we're in a hibernation cycle, and we are back against Droitwich Town this weekend. I think it's going to be Saturday afternoon this weekend, because I don't believe the firsts are at home. So when the firsts aren't at home, then we can have the home pitch. When the firsts are at home, we have to have the training centre kind of area. So we do that. So, but I believe we're at home, and the knee is almost healed up. I'm having to wear a bit of a bandage on it at this point in time. But I'm going to give it a go Wednesday again. I haven't trained this week yet, so I'm going to give it a go Wednesday. And see how the old the Three Stooges. Trev's in renting us already. Fantastic. So I'm going to give it a go Wednesday, see how I go. And really looking forward to the game. This arm's felt naked without this skipper's armband attached to it, so it'll be back. This weekend.
Yeah. So you're the skipper, you are the captain, the big.
I am the skipper, and I'm famous for saying this, and I really do. I pay no attention to my captain whatsoever, and most of my players pay zero attention to me also, and that's how it should be, because you should be concentrating on it. But I was given the captaincy halfway through last season, actually. So it was something to do with my unflappable personality, the way that I don't get into confrontation. No, that's wrong, isn't it? No, sorry, it is the way I get into confrontation. And I can't absolutely. I love it. So I was giving it about halfway through last season, and we did all right last season, but we're doing much better this season. We've made a couple of good additions. Got a couple of England over 50s joined us this season. So so we've got we weren't really playing on a full playing field last season, but this season we are. So we played 5 games, and I think we are 4-1. So we won 4 losses.
Nice, 4-1. That's good. That's good.
And I would like to point out the game that we did lose, yours truly was injured.
Obviously.
just one
You
of
are the
those
brick
things.
in that defense. You are the brick.
Completely unfortunate timing that we lost when I couldn't play. But apart from that, so it's been quite a quiet weekend. Family time, etc. So my son's girlfriend's parents had their 50th birthday party, so we were there Saturday night, which was good fun. And a bit of a relaxed day yesterday, so it's all good. It's all good. I enjoyed the game.
You have a slight hangover, or not too much red wine?
English Guinness drinker.
Guinness.
Anyone in the chat likes their Guinness, they'll know you don't get hangovers on Guinness. It's that's how you do it. So lots of Guinness. Kind of enjoyed the game yesterday. It was
We will come to the games too. You will have your say. First, we will say big up to Mr. Eat Online or Eat on Live on show. Mr. Poppy Power Hour.
I'm here. I'm happy. I am eating. I love. This is like one of the things that I look forward to having my dinner while the show is on. But I was just listening to Stu being like, "Wow, Stu is so like a problem in the dressing room." He said the team lost because he wasn't playing. Wow.
Now, humble us.
Humble, right? We know who to blame when there's dressing room unrest, Jarvis. We know.
Very humble. No, we've got a really good bunch of lads actually.
Nice.
We're a better ball playing team than actual speed. Well, actually, nobody plays with any real pace in our division, but really good at ball players. One of the biggest differences I've noticed is shooting accuracy. Some of the strikers that have played lower league and national league level, their finishing is just fucking, honestly, it's on a different level. Okay. Compared to what we've played at, but it's great fun. It really is. If you get a clean sheet, we've had 2 clean sheets this season, then it kind of makes you feel good. But the game we lost, actually, we had 2 ex-Fleetwood Town players, strikers up top, and they were just fucking honestly,
Fleetwood Mac.
Let me share with Jamie what I'm eating. I'm having some rice with the chicken wings, nice. And some broccoli in there. There's some green, and some mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms. This is not amateur hour. We talking some good food. So
Chef Poppy, this is your Chef Poppy. Are you considering making a cooking channel?
I need to. Apparently the F in FPH, Football Power Hour, stands for food, not football. So I need to actually make a food power hour show. We
could call it Pappy at the Grill, couldn't we?
Pappy at the Grill.
Pappy at the Grill, and he has his apron. And
right.
There's a bit of a song going, Pappy at the Grill.
And I can be the Swedish chef.
You can be the Swedish chef, and I'll be the swearing Gordon Ramsay of the unit.
Right.
That's what I'll be doing.
Jamie Wayne comes in and say, "I'm hungry now." Big up Jamie Wayne, one of our moderators.
Big up everybody.
I just want to say hi to the VAR room. We have the early birds coming in. Jarle Malmini, say Ruud and Rennie Haki, Jeletel Rouvelard, and Peter Morel have left the club. So the last roots have been ripped out, and now and the new coaches arrive. Fletcher looks to have survived though. And yes, Fletcher, he will always stay because, he's the eyes and ears of the Glazers on ground.
He'll always stay.
He will stay. He will stay. He will stay. We have Lucky Singh in the house. Big up, Lucky Singh. He says, I am looking to get a Nypan and maybe a new left back in January. Sounds good. We all know this Sverre Nypan, the guy from Rosenborg in Norway. Yeah. Young talent, massive talent. I would love us to get a player like him, but he will not be an instant player. That will be for the academy. I will give him a couple of years, but he looks good. We have Crispy Bacon in the house. The right decision, Rugby. Wish you continued success in all your future endeavors. Thank you. Well said, Crispy Bacon. Crispy Bacon. I love that name, Crispy. Maybe I like bacon. Do anyone of you guys like bacon?
Love bacon. Yeah, love bacon. It's an English staple on a cold morning or any morning really where we live.
Nothing beats the smell of bacon early in the morning.
Oh no! Well, where we live in the valley, not too far from us, where the fabled and famous Iron Bridge is located, we've got this wonderful cafe called the Deli Dale, and they make scrumptious bacon and egg sandwiches and a coffee. So go for a walk in and around the woods. Go there at 8:30. Scrumptious. Get stuck in. Absolutely.
And the food channel, Jarvis's Corner. We have Neil Driscoll in the house. He comes in and say he's sorry to see Ruud van Nistelrooy leave, but understands Amorim wants own coaches with him. Yeah, that's the thing. I think he wants his own coaches with him. We will speak more about that, but that's a good comment from Neil Driscoll. Star Lord is in the house. We have Dave 147. Dave Porter comes in. Good evening, everyone. Dave Porter, good
Mr.
evening
P.
to you. Welsh Girl 68. Big thank to Ruud van Nistelrooy. He steadied the ship. Yeah, he did. He did a good job. We have Ronald in the house. We have Trevor Wade. We have Mr. B. Neil Davis asks, "Where's Tom?" Tom last seen in Sri Lanka.
Yes,
I think he has arrived in Britain now. He's back in Sheffield. So I sent him the link. Hopefully, he will join us as soon as possible. Yeah, we have the Braids in the house. I just saw Amorim pictures at Carrington. Yeah, he has arrived. The Amorim team has arrived. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Ian McDonald comes in. Big up, folks.
Be careful with those bones, Pappy. Come on now.
It's so good. I want to get all the meat.
I know you did. It reminds me of Corn on the Cob, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Old Tom and Jerry movie.
I'm not letting that go.
Right. I clean the meat, bro.
And we have in the house Joe Blackman. Big up, Joe. I saw your show yesterday with you and Poppy, the call-in show. Great show, by the way.
I tuned in as well.
By the way, I wanted to call in, but
I'm too scared to call in. I am, because Joe goes like that, doesn't he? You say, and he goes, "You're gone." Yeah.
But I like what Joe says. He say, "I know we forgot to do it sometimes, but please remember to hit the like button." Yeah, that will help the show massively, because we need to reach out to people. At the moment, there's 155 people watching us, 116 on X, 9 on Football Power Hour, and 29 on MUFC Realist TV. So there are actually people watching, but you have to help us. Smash that like and get those comments in. Every interaction helps with the channel. Dave Porter, Ian McDonald, Lucky Singh, the Braids, blah, 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 blah. I will go down to, and we have NC Smith coming all the way from Canada.
Don't forget the legend that is Trev Wade. He'll get upset.
Yeah, I said hi to Trevor Wade, but the comment from Trevor Wade, they say Poppy could suck blood from a stone the way he eat wings.
Don't make me so.
That's good.
Well, let's just get going with the show and go to the first topic of the evening. Talk about yesterday's game against Leicester. We won the game 3-0. We looked solid and we won the game. But we didn't create many chances, but we scored on the chances we had, and Leicester didn't create many chances either. So we were in control. But who want to go first? Football Power Hour or Stu Williams? By the way, I just received a message from the legend Andy Tate. He wants to come on the show. Should I send him the link? Yes or no in the chat? Do we want Andy Tate on the show?
Big yes.
Big yes from you two
Yes.
guys. But I want to hear it from the VAR room. We want Andy Tate.
We want Andy Tate.
Andy.
The game. So my lad was there. My lad went yesterday again, and he said the game itself wasn't great. So he kind of he said although we controlled most of the play, passages of play, etc. He said our passing was a little bit off. I've seen it. We call the job on the technicality. I've seen it, and here he is, Mr. Tate. But Jakey was saying that our passing was sloppy in patches. Accuracy wasn't brilliant, but when we got into the final third, that's when it really started to unfold. Oh, fucking fucking hell, Babby.
That's a big
piece of broccoli.
Piece of broccoli. It was too big for my mouth.
I know. I was saying, is that the actual broccoli itself? The whole.
This is after the watershed. Remember, you can get away with it.
Yeah. Did you not take a stem off? Was it still there?
I think I'm gonna go for all of it, mate.
Go on, Pappy, get it in. Look at that. The legend. Sorry, back to the game. But he said we came alive in the final third, which is something we haven't done. What still aggravates me more than anything is Bruno, bless him, didn't score during ETH days. Now he's gone. All of a sudden, he knows where the net is. He knows where the goal is. And as a footballer, I'm very aggravated and irritated by that. But we're still not playing the way that we should be playing. We're still not playing to the strengths of Højlund. We're still not really playing to the strengths of Ahmad, although Ahmad's had more of an effect in the last two games than, Rashford's had all season. And, times where Garnacho's not been on it all season, So it's a bit of a difficult one to unravel, difficult one to get excited by. I mean, when all's said and done, by the way, a footballer's job is to win football matches. And, that's what we've done on the road. Apart from that drab 1-0 draw against Chelsea, we've won football matches. But we suddenly started scoring goals. And I don't buy it's anything to do with Ruud. As much as I love RVN, my favourite ever striker to play for the club, that, Jarvis. I don't believe he's had this effect where these players have suddenly thought, yeah, there he is, or suddenly decided that they want to turn up and start playing again. And that's what irritates me more than anything about the last 4 games. That's why I'm irritated. With him leaving, I think it is the right decision. I'd love him to stay. I would have, but where would he fit in with the Amorim circus? Amorim's worked with this set of coaches throughout his coaching career. Had them at Braga, had them at Sporting. Where would Ruud have fitted in? I don't think he would have. We knew the writing was on the wall for Hake and the rest of them because he's got quite an unusual goalkeeping coach, to say the least. But he looks on top of his game, and his coaches are on top of their game. And I think we need stability. And I'm not saying Ruud would have upset the dynamic at all because he wants the best for Manchester United. But you'd have had to taken a reduced role within that setup. And he wouldn't have had the influence that maybe he's had right now. Well, one thing Amorim's got to do, and I'm sure Ruud has done this as well, he's got to walk in that dressing room tomorrow. Whoever's there, if they're not on some kind of holiday, or they're not playing international football. And he's really got to make a point that he's not prepared to be there and make friends with these players. He needs to get that across immediately. And he needs to make sure that they're aware that
how
they're
do you do that? How do you do that, Stu?
Well, I would walk in if it was me. I would walk in and say, "Listen, lads, I'm not going to blow smoke anywhere. You know, you are standing in front, Bruno, Rashford, Lindelof, etc. You're standing in front of your fourth manager. That's unacceptable. You know, as a footballer, I would be embarrassed. As a man, I would be embarrassed." And he needs to turn around and say, "So I'm not here to be your friend. If you perform for me, you'll stay in the team. The minute you let me down, you're gone. You're out. You're under 23s, and you must do that. You can't. Yeah, you can't allow these players to do this to anybody else. Now, irrespective of, I'm not talking about delicts. I'm not talking about the players that ETH brought in. I'm talking about the perennial players that have been there a long, long time, and we know who they are. The players have got manager after manager after manager fired, and he can't allow that. And if you've got to be strong enough to say, if you don't like it and you're going to get upset by it, the door's there. Get your agent in to see Ashworth and get your contract terminated, because I don't need you here and I don't want you here. If you are prepared to buy into what I want, you are prepared to put the work in that I want, you will get the rewards beyond your dreams, because we're so far away from winning the title, it's untrue. We're so far away from winning, I think, the Europa League right now. And so he's got to instill not a fear side of it, not an authoritarian side of it at all, but he's got to instill a want and a will to each and every player that if you perform for me, I'll support you. But as soon as you down tools, or as soon as you let me down, then I'm gonna chuck you on the scrap heap. And there is nothing left now. There's no middle ground. Now, there's a lot of the guys that won't like what I'm saying in the VAR room. There's a lot of fans out there that won't like what I'm saying. But the likes of myself and Andy, Jarvis, Pappy, most people in the VAR room who've been season ticket holders, who have gone to games, we're not multimillionaires like these people. And I don't care whether people have a pop at me over that. We're not multimillionaires like these people. Yeah. We're looking at pennies in our pocket to go and watch these players and support these players. And I think since Sir Alex moved out the club, I'm not talking about just last week, I'm talking about 2013, when he saw the writing on the wall, let's be honest, I'm kind of upset that these players haven't understood what Manchester United's all about. And I'm going back years now. You know, we've only had, and Andy will be able to put me right here, we've only had 3 managers that have won the actual title since our inception. 3 managers. And, it just isn't acceptable. So, look, all I'm trying to say is you have got to kind of like close the door on the Erik ten Hag era and open the door with the Amorim era. But he's got to be in a position where we're just not going to let them, him down or anybody else down. So just reading the comment from Ian McDonald. Do you want to put that up?
I can do that.
You see, this is the type of almost immature comment I'm fed up with reading, because you clearly don't play the game, Ian, or you haven't played the game, pal, because you've got a real lack of understanding what it's like to be in a football club on a daily basis. Players didn't down tools. They were his players, etc., etc., etc. You're just not making any sense at all. It's very,
I agree. Because I have seen Rashford down tools many times.
Correct.
Then the arrogance of him coming back and going like that. No, when he scored, he wasn't running last season against Newcastle, and he got berated for it. And he's thrown his arms up in the air. The walking off, trudging off in the Manchester derby, then going off. All right, your birthday party was booked. Going out on a straight after the derby to party, and it's not a good look. So it's players. I go to the stadium. If I see a player not performing, I'll come out and criticise it. Really, say Bruno wasn't at his best yesterday. Some terrible passing. First time process passing. Think of where you want to put the ball. It's shocking, some of these players, some of them who do it. Now, that yesterday we cooked. Leicester were really poor. They were so poor. I think their second string actually give us a game in the League Cup tie than the first team did. And that was a more entertaining game, the League Cup tie. But some of these players yesterday, apart from, like say, Ahmed, beautiful, absolute beautiful. God, protect him. Give him another contract. Give him not 2-year extension, because he's out of contract at the end of the season. People are going to be sniffing around him, and I don't think we're going to lose him. But the players, like you say, that comment, it really irritates me when I see players down in tools. Everybody sees it, and you get the fans who want to protect their own players. Player FC. Well, I'm a fan of that player. I'm not a fan of the club. So, are you really a Man United fan or a fan of a certain player? That's what irritates me. You're either Man United or that's it. Oh, I protect my player. I'm happy with him. No. I'm not having it. Not having it, man. You don't run. You don't pass. It's shocking. And I say, I want these set of players now to be told, do you want to be winners, or do you want to always be remembered as the set of players that actually process the manager, and you're just going through life, you're getting your money, X, Y, and Z, and that's it. Do you want to be winners? Them across town, they have dominated for the last 10, 12 years. What do you want to do at the end of your careers? And I would say that to them. Do you want to be winners and be remembered for lifting trophies? Or do you want to be remembered just for not running, not tracking back, throwing your arms in the air, not making a pass right, not defending right? I'm putting the blame on yourself or other people.
Yeah, well, this is the problem, Andy, and this is my biggest gripe. It's never a manager's fault if you misplace a pass. It's your fault. Yeah. If you can't be bothered to run that extra 10 yards, it's your fault. It's got nothing to do with the gaffer. If you are not where he's told you to be because you're too lazy to get there, that's your fault as a player. It's got nothing to do with the gaffer. And this is the difference between, Sunday league football where nobody gives a fuck, to elite level football where if you don't make that 10-yard run, somebody else will, and they'll get the ball before you, and then you're 10 yards away from where you need to be. If you haven't got the kind of energy, the ability, the grit to go and make, put in a tackle just in case you get hurt, then somebody else will do that, and they'll win the ball off you, and they'll get up the pitch quicker. You can look at Liverpool. People are saying Arne Slot's been brilliant. He's had fuck all to do with Liverpool's continuation of the last season.
He's not had a bump yet. He's not had a bump, and he's only bought
knew what they were doing.
He is just eased his way in, got into the car, strapped himself in, nice and snug, and he's just riding that F1. He's like you've got the car, you've got the components. Oh, I'm just a new driver. I'm the new F1 driver. He's just rolling around. So, but when things start to go wrong, we'll see what happens. We'll see what he's made of. He may have a good season this year. They may win the league, but next year, players may go X, Y, and Z. So are you going to stamp your print on this team? after you've had a successful season.
And it's not may go, it's probably will go. I think Salah, the future of Salah, the future of Trent Alexander-Arnold in question. Alisson is in question. So they're going to be facing a major rebuild, Liverpool, and we'll see how that recruitment will do and how Ancelotti can actually integrate new players into that system. And and it feels very, very much he's just a new driver. Very perfect analogy there. Everything is all set up. He doesn't need to worry about maintenance right now. You know,
we're the free-wheel van. Yeah, the free-wheel van. That's what we are.
We're the Flintstones van, mate. What are you talking?
We had a Flintstones mobile. We had a Delboy free-wheel van with no engine. You know what I mean?
Well, look at the Messiah that is Pep Guardiola right now. He doesn't know what to do without his mainstay of players. He doesn't know what to do without Rodri. He doesn't know what to do without
a
De Bruyne
manager finds a way.
He does, but Guardiola can't find it, can he? He can't find it right now. 4 games will tell you he can't find it.
I won't be worried if you're a City fan. Bloody hell.
No, I wouldn't. But people have got to understand that's what it's all about. Guardiola, just at this time, he can't find that magic touch, that magic solution. He's never experienced this in his life because he hasn't got the players around him, and he doesn't know how to use the likes of Núñez properly. He doesn't know how to use the young lads, and I feel sorry for the young lads. Pusey at the back. I think he looks like he's going to develop into a really, really top quality centre half, but he's not quite there yet. Your mate Oscar Bobb's injured, and if Haaland isn't scoring goals, then nobody else is at this point in time because they got rid of Alvarez. So he's finding that problem, isn't he, at the moment? No Stones, no Diaz, no Akanji, no Ake. He's finding these issues, and Andy's right. A good manager.
It's funny you speak about that too. Sorry for interrupting, but I just want to bring up. I know it's a little bit off topic, but do you think City is falling apart now because of the 115 charges? And their sporting director Trixie Bergenstein is leaving. Pep is. I don't know.
Just injuries.
They're missing Rodri.
Big time.
Like you said, he may buy in January to replace. He might get 1 or 2 signings out stable as shit. I mean, say 4 on the run. It's not happened since 2006. And that was just City, wasn't it? That was just City before the takeover. Yeah. So after fans now who had this, I've seen all the meltdowns like that. There's one thing City fans, they don't know how to lose sometimes, and they just can't take. You've got nothing to worry about. If I was a City fan, if you're a City fan, you've got nothing to worry about. It's just a blip. Jesus Christ! But they can't accept this.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Imagine the meltdown at Man United if you lost 4 in a row.
Yeah,
imagine the meltdown
smashed against Newcastle. 5-0, 6-3 to Southampton. We lost to Chelsea. We went out of the League Cup to York City, and we were awful, but we still won the league.
Yeah, Ian McDonald's back saying he put his comment up. Fucking hell, Jesus! You haven't listened to a word I've said. Yeah, you haven't listened to what I've said. I didn't say the players are down-tooled at City. I said Pep doesn't know what to do with this group of players. There isn't Rodri. There isn't De Bruyne, etc., etc. That's what I said. There's a difference between down in tools and fucking not knowing what to do with them. So who's having the fucking head wobble? Listen to what I'm fucking saying, or don't comment. Go and watch something else.
Everybody's entitled.
Players are not down in tools.
But I never said they were down in tools. I said Guardiola just doesn't know what to do with them, and there's a difference. And this is why I get irritated sometimes. With anyway, forget it. I'm not going to get into it.
Okay.
My point being is that it's not always on the manager. It's about the players. And Manchester United is about the players.
But Stu, you're touching on a vital topic when it comes to managers, because managers have constantly to reinvent themselves. And do you think maybe Pep, talking about City, I know this is a Man United channel, but do you think he struggles reinventing himself because his system is so rigid when it comes to how he wants to set up and how he wants to play ball?
Well, that was my point. And Ian's just called me a muppet. Gotta love him, aren't you? But I did read what you said. You're not listening to what I'm saying. So if you want a proper football conversation, give him the link and get him on here. Let's see how fucking good he is. Give him the link. Send him the link. Get him on.
Unnecessary calling people a muppets. Keep it on.
You can call me a muppet, but if he wants a debate, give him the link. Come on. Give us your worldly opinion on football. Come on, we're all here. Got no problem.
If you want the link, Ian McDonald, give us a shout. I'll send you the link. You can come on, and we will have a debate.
A debate about it.
We'll be there.
I just want to go back to we talked about managers Amorim, and you will get the next question, Poppy. It's about Ruud van Nistelrooy leaving the club. Will we miss him? Because I just want to say my thing on the Ruud. I think he steadied the ship. I think a lot of the players felt overwhelmed by Ten Hag's tactics. I think he demanded a little bit too much of them, and I don't think they had the abilities to do what he asked for. And I think Ruud van Nistelrooy took it a little bit 2 steps back and just went back to the basics. He said so in his interview after last game that confidence is so vital for players. He just needed to make it simple. Do you think Ruud van Nistelrooy simplified the game for the players just so they could thrive now and win 3 games and have 1 draw in the last 4 games? Because the results are great on the Ruud van Nistelrooy, but I honestly think he didn't do anything revolutionary when it comes to tactics, how to set up the team, how he chose the team. Nothing, but he got the result.
I'll say this thing. He did give Ahmed when Ten Hag would not play Ahmed. So Ahmed has seized his opportunity to put himself out there for the new manager. So that is the one good thing Ruud has done. That's it.
Yeah. Poppy.
Yeah, and it extends further than Ahmed. It's like, it's not just the simplification of the tactics. It's more like getting the lineup right, the engine right, pairing Casemiro and Ugarte. It was just like such an easy solution that a lot of fans could see. And Ten Hag, whatever, because maybe his laptop was outdated or something, I don't know, but he just didn't want to put Ugarte in there. And at the end of the day, I think we saw like the double pivot coming back. The last 4 games reeked a lot of Ten Hag's first tenure, where there was a little bit more solidity in the midfield, a little bit more like robustness. And we won the game versus Leicester City, not because we were overwhelmingly brilliant. It's just because we were just difficult for Leicester. We had one moment where we almost let the Bozo gene kick in again. When Ndidi had that one-on-one with Onana, and also there was like another moment that I'm vaguely remembering. It might have been like Winks or something. We had a left foot. It was an open play. Like Ndidi had a shot and open play, and then also the set piece. But those moments, though, were able to calm them down and control them because we were just difficult or too strong in the midfield for Winks and the rest of the Leicester City team. And Ruud van Nistelrooy's half of his homework was just getting the lineup right. And as Andy said, rewarding players who give you a good performance. Ahmad, we hadn't won an English game, a game away from in Europe in over a year, and then Ahmad rescues us. And what do you do after a player rescues the team? You gotta reward him with his starting place, and it was just so simple. Ahmad started again, and then the rest was history. So I really feel like Ruud van Nistelrooy. Also, another thing that I want to comment on is the fact that the way he was very proactive with his substitutes, throughout the 4 games, he made sure that like anytime he sees a little bit of a drop off in energy or just needing to refresh, he'd be like, Johnny Evans, come on,
proactive.
Came out with 15 minutes to go. He brought on Johnny Evans.
Yeah, come on,
I don't know if you've seen this because I was in the stadium and I could see. I was in level 3, Alex Ferguson stand, and people can see down to the pitch that some of the players that when you get into a position and the run, they didn't. Rashford like that got the ball, and people like shouting, "Turn, run!" He didn't. He passed back, and people's like other players like you're urging Højlund, run, pressing. They were going a bit forward, and they would turn back. They didn't want to press, and when the crowd were getting on him, then they did press and they did score. And this is what it's a two-way thing with the fans and the players. You've got to show it. We can encourage him, but I want to see it. Run. That's it. Make the pass. You see it. There was a pass yesterday. Unai had the ball like that. He sees Ahmed on the right side, open space, ready to run. So what does he do? He plays it out to the left, and the crowd are screaming. Everyone can see it on the right, and he's like, "Oh!" And he passes it onto the left.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, they've been doing that for years.
The ball, Ahmed's through running down the wing. Honestly,
do you know one thing that Ruud has had? He's had look at the right time, and Pappy's right about Agate and Andy's as well. Together, Casemiro and Agate have just managed to combine quite nicely together. Either because one will rotate with the other, etc., etc. Now we don't know the reason why Ten Hag didn't play him. Maybe he'll come out one day and he'll tell us. Who knows?
NDA. You can't say because he signed an NDA.
Yeah, but it was clear to me that Agate wasn't fit, not to a level where he needed to be to play in the Premier League. And I think timing has allowed that fitness to hit just at the right time.
He's just getting started. That's the thing.
To Ruud and a detriment of ETH. But that's football. That's just life. That's just football. That is. And I think that the good thing for where Agate and Casemiro are, it means we haven't got to rush back Mainu. So we're going to allow Mainu to get his fitness to a level where he can come in, play a couple of 20-minute, 30-minute cameos until he's ready to go. Because, somebody's asked a question about Casemiro, which we'll answer later. What will happen with them? The thing about also Agate is he's not quite understood the way the Premier League operates yet. If you notice the way that he's rushing around, but he's not actually rushing around with any real knowledge of where he's going, which sounds ridiculous. But in Portugal, you can play it at maybe 70% of the speed. And so it enables you to understand better where the way that the game's evolving and where you need to be at any given time. With the Premier League, it isn't, and that's why you've noticed Andy in particular in the stadium. You'll notice he's given away a couple of silly fouls that he won't be giving away in 2 or 3 months' time. Just little niggers because he's late.
Yeah. I would say the Portuguese league is at sort of the same pace as like you say, the Spanish league. It's certain aspects of certain countries in Spain. Not like the Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico level, but you're right on that. It's that sort of level. I can play it 70% and get away with it. But this, I have to increase everything to at least 90 to 90%. If he can reach his 90% every week, he's doing okay.
He'll fit it, and I think he'll be there in a couple of months. And I think, and it won't happen straight with Amorim, but it will happen in a couple of months. I think what's interesting. Again, for me, and this is the bit that I can't excuse, I can't accept. And I'm not picking on Bruno. I'm not picking on specific players, but all of a sudden Bruno scores 4 out of 4 goals in 5 games or whatever it is, or 5 goals in 4 games. I can't remember. I know he didn't get it, did he? It was
no, it was an own goal.
It was an own goal. He scored a goal a game then. And he's finding his range of passing. That's always been in that player. You don't lose your ability to play football. What you do is lose your ability to want to play, or you get it within you. I'm not quite ready to do that. So, I'm with the guys. I don't think Ruud did anything in particular that changed the way that we were playing. You could argue that he moved Dallo from left to right back. I don't think you've got to be a rocket scientist to do that. I think everyone on this panel has suggested Dalot's a better right back than he's left. Great thing for us is that Mazzarri is equally at home at left back as he is at right back. For us, it's been
what standing he is! What standing!
I know.
I'll give Ten Hag credit on that. That was him and Martinez. Hopefully, Delete. Thank you for them three, my friend. Like I say, brilliant signing. He is.
Again, I think De Ligt will find his way. I think we'll all agree that Martinez has been subpar this year so far. I think he's still getting back to full fitness. Penny. Yeah, I think he's getting back to full fitness. I think you'll see a difference when Yoro comes into the starting 11, which he will do. And I think you'll see a different type of way that we play. And I'm really looking forward to it. I mean,
do you see a difference between us playing in the Premier League and Europa League? I mean, could he implement his Portuguese style Lisbon in the Europa League?
Yeah,
we've got the home game coming up. We're away as well just before Christmas. Then we've got the 2 games after. We've got Glasgow Rangers. I've got a ticket for that. I'm going to that. Can't miss Glasgow Rangers.
You can't.
Yeah, I want to play Rangers from Glasgow.
That is a great question, Andy. And I'll tell you why that's a great question. Because Alex couldn't distinguish between Premier League and European football right at the very beginning. Do you remember, Andy? He couldn't change the way we played. We played in the UK as a 4-4-2. We played out in Europe in a 4-4-2. He couldn't adjust. The players couldn't adjust. It took us a while, didn't it, to get some kind of momentum in Europe, bar the Cup Winners' Cup that time when we beat Barcelona. But he really struggled, certainly in the Champions League, to understand the difference between English football and European football. I think Amorim will play as 2 types. I absolutely 100% agree with you. I think you'll see 2 different ways of playing in Europe and in the UK. Now, he will come in with his set 3-4-3. I think it'll be more like a 3-5-2. And it'll be a fluid 3-4-3, 3-5-2, which I said right at the beginning of the season, if you remember, Jarvis. I've been banging on about this now all season. That's why I think.
Why do you think?
If he gets this right, we've got a Carabao Cup quarter-final as well against Tottenham. And I tell you what, you get that right, you're 2 games away from Wembley, mate. And that's not a bad start, you know. Just fingers crossed.
He'll want to do for that. I mean, the interesting thing for me is there will be the inclusion of Yoro and what he does with Yoro. Yeah, how he does it with Yoro.
I thought he was coming on yesterday. I went back and then somebody said, it's Lenny. I went, no, it's not Lenny. Oh, it's Xerxes.
Well, I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see a difference in the way that Xerxes operates. You know, this kind of cameo that you've seen with Garnacho, kind of recently, Rashford coming outside, Ahmed coming in on that side. That'll be the critical area for me on what he does with those types of players. Because if he goes with a 3-4-3, if he runs with it, then you're going to have potentially Mazzarri and Dalot, whoever the fullbacks are, as wing backs. Your 2 holding players, just say for argument's sake, it's Agate and Casemiro. Where do you run with Bruno on that? You don't play him as a 3, as part of a 3, because he can't play as a 9 and he can't play out wide. People will say he can, but I don't think he can. And then you've got Mason Mount as well. Could he play wing back? Could Anthony play wing back? And do you then run with, and you guys are right about Amad Diallo, by the way, he's been our catalyst. Where do you play Amad, Højlund? Because Amad's not a 9. Could he play as a 10? Could he play Højlund and Amad in
definitely
behind?
A 10. He will play as a 10. He will play as a 10.
Could he do that? So I think that's the interesting aspect of his way of playing and our personnel.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about this.
Stu,
I'm interested in your thoughts, guys.
You didn't see my show the other day on Noradin's channel when I had the breakdown on Amorim's system. I showed it 2 times now, but I can do it again for you guys, just for you guys to understand what I see in this Amorim system, because I don't have I don't have the what do you call it, answer. But this is how I believe Amorim will set up his team because of what we have seen so far with his tactics. I will bring up the old tactical board. I know you love it, so everybody give us a big applause. So I'll just gonna remove the opposition right away because I don't need them to explain the tactics. I done this on the Northern channel a couple of times, but how he plays out, it's more of a 3-4-2-1 formation. So if you see here, what's wrong with this? There we go. 3 in the back. That's okay. We have 4 with the wing backs. We have 2 number 10s, and we have a lone striker who is the spearhead in his attack. But what we know about modern day football is everybody loves the MW shape, as we have talked about as many times on Jarvis's corner. So we have the M in the back, and you just move up your fullbacks up to here, and then you suddenly got a W. And the good thing is you also have the square in the midfield. So this is easy. You don't have to interchange. You don't have to invert a fullback, let's say Dallo or whatever, into the midfield to create a MW shape. And you don't have to do as City move stones up to get a MW shape. You just simply move up the wing backs, and then you suddenly have the shape. So it's very easy and understandable for the players to play like this. But what he's trying to do is I call it a hybrid between the Serbi. You know, the Serbi, he likes to trap the opposition, to put the studs on the ball and wait them out, and then move. And then you get the opposite movement from the double pivot. But he likes to play the ball in between the center backs, the DMs, when he can, to lure out the opposition, because you want the opposition not standing here, you want them up here, because you want them to create space in behind to move into. So the space in behind is here. This is the aim. And when the space in behind is there, he creates another shape. He moves up one center back, he moves up one DM, he moves up one of the number 10s. So suddenly we go with a shape like this. It's almost like a, you remember on the Ralph Ragnick we played the 2-2-4-2 formation or something like this, but he usually plays
it lasted 20 minutes against Crystal Palace. What did he call it? Oh God, would cut
the 4-2-2 he called it. The Ragnick Gegenpress.
That's it, Jagen. Yeah, Jagen bomb. Yes. Yeah, Gegenpress.
So the aim with this football is when you have space to run in behind, what I talked about, this is the space, then you go direct football, because you play possessive football when the opposition is lying in a low block. You want to trick them up to create space in behind, and when you have space in behind, then you go direct, and then you play direct like Jurgen Klopp, old Liverpool style of football, and you play direct from the back 2 and the 2 DMs up until these 4. So there's almost like 4 number 10 there.
Jarvis, is the keeper, is he going to be up with this as well? But he plays out from the back, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has to. From the back. He have to, because he plays only with 2. We play the 2-2 when we play out from the back, so it's very, very risky, and we don't have many men. So this is a big problem. But the aim is to play direct from the defense to the midfield up until these 4 guys, and they will stop passing the ball. Then they start doing what Amorim do: carry the ball. They carry the ball with them, progressive carries into the box, and suddenly you go with full force, as Liverpool do. You remember how they used to play with the old heavy metal football. Suddenly you have 6 guys in the box, and you create big chances for the number 9, who is Jokenes, and this is what we want for Højlund, because you have a lot of people, and you got to remember it's because of the room in behind, and the opposition will back down, so they won't be pushing up. So it's very hard for them to defend against this. But everything has to be synchronized and well functioning. Play the ball in the back, and suddenly when you have opening, boom, you go and you carry the ball from the midfield 4. So this is basically the style of Ruben Amorim. I don't know if you guys were aware, but what's your first thoughts, Stu? I see you're nodding.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, because from what I've seen, the way they play, but they're very open. That's the biggest issue for me. You can almost get away with it a little bit in maybe Portugal, maybe other leagues, but in the Premier League, there'll be players that'll get wise to it quite quickly. So one of the biggest issues I've got with the system is when you were moving it from back to front, there was still a gaping hole right through the middle. Now, although we're running across the pitch, so to speak, in everything that you demonstrated, we go up as a unit, come back as a unit. I talk about that a lot, don't I? Going up as a unit like a pendulum, come back as a unit.
Now you're talking about defending, but you do that when he defends.
Yes,
because
what you've got, but what you'll have is, maybe not the first 2 or 3 games, you'll have a player that will, what we call, cheat, and he'll sit within that open space, and all it requires is a very quick turnover. He holds the ball, 2 or 3 players running alongside him, and you can push and you can quickly press our area. So the biggest issue for me is there's always 10 to 15, maybe 20 yards of space always on the pitch, where the opposition, somebody like Brighton, for example, that lad who came on for Brighton against City, changed the fucking game. He would be an absolute dynamite. Yes, that's him. Yeah, I hadn't heard the player before. He's a young lad, isn't he? Would tear us a new one, because he's got that ability to sense space, danger, but he can use the ball, and that's the key. Rodri will be doing that because he'll just ping it out quickly. Someone like De Bruyne, somebody like Silva, somebody like Stones, even if he's broken ranks. So it's all about breaking ranks. That's my only issue. Everything else, I think you're absolutely right. The 3-4, 3-5, whichever way he goes about it, 2-2-4-2, whichever way he does it.
The interesting part is how they want to trick and lure the opposition, set traps.
Correct. Boss.
And make them come up, and then
correct.
You go.
And we talk about that a lot.
You play a possessive, counter-attacking type of football that's direct. So it's a hybrid between De Zerbi and Jurgen Klopp, in my opinion. I don't know how it will work in the Premier League. That's the biggest issue, because I've never seen this before.
No, that's right. So do we have the personnel?
Something similar, but it's not the same, because we only have 3 in the back.
Do we have the personnel to do it? That's my question.
With a new style, so it'll be something different to say. Yeah, you need time to assess, implement your systems. It worked for Klopp. It worked for Pep. It's open. It's working for Ruben.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll be massively interesting. But you've got to have the right players. Sorry, Pappy, you've got to have the right players though to affect that. Then that's the thing. I'm not really sure we got the players that can affect that right from the very beginning. So it could a trial and error.
He's got to be given control, right? To be given, right? I don't want that player. I need this player. You gone. You stay. I want it. I want X, Y, and Z. Right? Yeah. Can I get him in January? We can get one in January. I'll take that, and I'll take the other 2 in the summer. So and he say there should be now, like you say, he can have the power to end careers now, and I want to see that.
Yeah.
The new manager must have the power to end careers, not just be a shirt seller because you sell shirts. I don't want that anymore now.
I mean, when you look at that, Andy, when you look at the Gyökeres as an example, and Højlund, one has 100% got the ability to finish, but the difference between Gyökeres and Højlund is probably 9 out of 10 chances Gyökeres is likely to get on the end of it and make the goalkeeper do something.
Mm-hmm.
Højlund's probably about 5 out of 10 chances. Now, chance creation, which that does, and that allows it. If you get Ahmed to get his crossing right, Garnacho to get his crossing right, Rashford to get his crossing right, Anthony to get his crossing right, whoever is playing out wide will be quite critical to that, because one of the biggest issues with that, and when you really look at the packing of the box, the keeper comes in, he catches it, there you go, one quick spring, left back could be gone out, and he's running into 30 yards of space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's what our keepers do. Our keepers will come and they'll catch and they'll go.
Stu, it also might happen. I mean, what I wanted to add was the fact that like this back three formation is fresh. It's new to Old Trafford. It's something that I don't think any manager recently has implemented. Matter of fact, somebody mentioned it in the chat that, you know, Antonio Conte won the league with a back three, you know, and he had to make do with what he had, you know. I think he had Xavi Alonso on left wing back, but on the right wing back position, he had to figure out, I have to convert Victor Moses into a wing back.
Correct. Chelsea.
And now, Jarvis, what you just showed us is the importance, the paramount importance of having a wing back that can carry the ball. Now is the big question of which of our players can actually have good, successful ball carries and cover distance. That means sometimes evading one or two players from the opposition, because they'll be trying to press you. They'll be trying to get that ball quickly from you. And if you can have that kind of player at Man United that can, you know, take the ball from our half, if we've just had a successful build-up beating the press, how do you take it to the opposition side successfully? So that'll be the real big.
What's his first run of games? Is it like it's Ipswich?
Yeah.
The Europa League side at home.
Chelsea.
Everton.
Not Chelsea. Everton.
Yeah, Everton. Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
So we've got winnable games.
He's got like a very favourable ease in.
Right, fixtures, yeah.
So I mean, if you do that, we've lost 1 in 6, 1 in 7 from the previous, just gone now. So if you can get through them, you build some more momentum. Like they say, some results have favoured us over the weekend. We're only 4 points off the top 4.
It's nothing.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. Like you say, I'm not saying we're going to do it. I'm just saying we're only 4 points off the top 4.
But Pappy's just come up with a brilliant point yet again. You know, Andy made it about Europe. Will we change tactics in Europe? Pappy's made a great point about Victor Moses. We don't have that mentality with a player with that mentality in our squad that's willing to be approached by the gaffer to say, look, I want to play this way and I need you to do this. You don't know it, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. You know, Victor Moses became a really good right wing back in the end.
He did, yeah.
We've had it once with Valencia. Valencia realised he wasn't going to get in right midfield anymore, so he had to reinvent himself, and he did reinvent himself to a right back. Yeah. But have we got that mentality within our squad? Take Manzari out of the system.
I've heard that about Anthony. Could he make Anthony a fullback?
He could. He could. But you know, people don't like Anthony.
Stu.
Yeah, sorry.
I just want to say, talking about players, one player on Leicester caught my eye yesterday, and it was this guy. I don't know if you noticed him, but I will go up so you see his name. It's Fatavu, the left winger of Leicester. He had actually some skills. He's from Ghana, 20 years old, plays for Leicester. But the thing is, he came from Sporting. He used to play under Amorim.
All right.
And the thing is, when you look at his stats, his assist, he's on the 84% of the top 5 leagues in Europe. When it comes to progressive carries, he's on the 97th percentile of the top 5 leagues.
This is when you want to do an Ajax thing.
99%.
Do you want to get sporting players in? I would shred this.
Oh no!
This is
we're going back in time.
And when it comes to defensive work, we have his tackles, 99% of the top 5 leagues, interception 86, clearances 99, aerials 99.
Okay.
Actually pretty decent when it comes to defensive
players
work.
would you allow him to bring in from Sporting or ex-Sporting?
I don't
2,
care.
3?
As long as they're quality. But it's a good question.
I push it out to 3. I won't have 4, 5, 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I brought in about 7.
Let's not reset the clock here, because he kicks out Ruud just the same way Eric kicked out Ralph. He wants now, like, we get 5 players from Sporting. It just feels like what restarted the cycle.
I ain't going down that route. Like you say, you're allowed 3 Super Mario lives, 3 Sonic the Hedgehog lives. That's it. 3 Super. And one power up if the striker's right.
I think it's interesting.
We have to save the princess.
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
You have to defeat the naughty professor across the town.
Or whatever his name is. Yeah. I do think it's interesting, Jarvis, and I do think he'll go for a left back. I think Luke Shaw will be gone in the summer. He'll keep Malacia, but I don't think he'll be his first choice left back. I think Malacia's got to start to ease himself back in. I think we'll get a new left back for sure. May even happen in January. But when you look at yesterday's game, and Dalot switched off a couple of times, didn't he? Let's be fair. And he did have a decent game, their left-sided winger player. But I don't think he was what, those stats didn't represent his game time yesterday, is what I'm getting at. I understand what you're saying, and I get the stats, but it didn't actually represent his game involvement but look, he's a young kid, isn't he? And he's finding his way into a different league, and that's going to be what's he got there?
Yeah, I saw the comment. Am I Irish? Yes, and there's the proof. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. There's your proof right there. And if you don't believe me, I'll come and get you, and that's a guarantee.
Brilliant. But I do think we're crying out for that type of player. Absolutely. I do think we need that type of player. But one of the things about what he does at this point in time in Porto, what he did at Braga, and what, Arne Slot hasn't had to do, is Arne Slot, as we quite rightly say, has just gone into Klopp's seat. But the players know what they're doing anyway. The players know exactly how to play. The players can sense each other on the pitch. Their peripheral vision is A1, etc., etc., etc. And it's proven it, isn't it? With us, Amorim's got to almost start again. He's dealing with a completely different profile of footballer. And we must remember that. We must remember he's not dealing with Gyökeres. So when he turns his back, Gyökeres is peeling away because he's put one in the net. Højlund's hit the post with it, or it's gone straight to the keeper. And that could, that's been the turning point in some games. And he's got to get that and realise that quite quickly. So it'll be interesting to see how we do it, how we play. Do we actually see our players running more? Are they going to put the hard yards in for this guy? I think we're in for I think they're in for an awakening. I really do.
Oh, yeah. A very rude awakening.
Yeah, I really do.
As one leaving is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I really do think it's going to be wow, crikey, what are we doing here type thing. And
there's nobody to go to as an in-between. There's nobody to I want my comfort blanket. You know what I mean? I want my teddy bear with "I am great" written on the chest. You know what I mean? Your teddies and your comfort blankets are out the door now, lads. There's no comfort or teddies for you, I'm telling you.
You know what's interesting, Stu, you're mentioning Amorim has to develop Højlund, and Gyökeres is 4 or 5 years older than Højlund, right? And with
he is, isn't he?
Stuff. But what gives
27.
me? Oh, look at that! Even more. So 6 years. So now Amorim, like for me, what I've been researching about him is that like you can see that he's somebody who relishes rebuilding, who relishes developing young players. Because when he was appointed, like Sporting they had lost Paulinho, Nunes, Voro, and he still didn't sulk. He didn't do anything. He just figured, okay, let me go ahead and coach these young players that I'm getting, the new players that he got, and he turned them into something. So I got a little bit of optimism that he can polish a player that has good resources, a player that has the ingredients, as long as the player is willing to listen and learn.
Yeah, and I like that because you're right, Pappy. But if you're Højlund, would you not? And there's a question to you all, by the way, and a VAR room.
Yep.
Would you not, when you knew Amorim was coming in, would you not be focusing on Gyökeres, looking at his movement, looking at the way that Amorim wants him to play, so that when he comes, I know Højlund's on international duty, but when he steps through the door today, when Højlund comes back, it's all right, Gaffer. I know what you want from me. I know what you need from me. That's what I want to see. Because if I was a player at Old Trafford and I knew 2 weeks ago Amorim was coming in, I'd know everything there was to know about the bloke when he stepped through the door. I'd know where my position is at any given time on that pitch. I would know everything I could possibly do to make sure I'm invaluable to him. And I'm wondering whether we've got that in our players. It's a question to you all, guys.
Mm-hmm. Interesting question, because he did set that bloke for Lisbon who went from Coventry, he was in the Championship, and he's tearing it up. And that he took raw potential and turned it into a Champions League regular, scoring goals and top of the league. So I see the same sort of mould with Højlund. It's whether, like you say, can he turn that into positive energy and bring out the better in him. So time will tell. But there is a comparison there between them two players.
Yeah. For me, I think when it comes to Højlund, he has to develop his game. He has to mature. He doesn't know how to do the basic stuff as a striker. Some games you see him shielding the ball the right way. He angles his body in the right way. He puts up his arm. He has contact with the center back. That's so important. It's more important to have control on your center back than it is to have control on the ball itself. That's the most important thing as a striker when you have the back against the goal. Have control on your center back. Sometimes Højlund focuses on receiving the ball the right way, but he doesn't have control on the center back. So the center back comes running in, boom, and he loses control of the ball because he doesn't have the control of the center back. He needs to learn the basics, and it needs to be intuitive for him. He has to do it without thinking, and it's not
just explain that a bit more, Jarvis, because I know what you're talking about when you're talking about control of the centre. I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, so I'm a centre back. I'm touch, so I'm like that, quite lightly on his back. That's what I'm doing, and I'm doing it to feel what he's going to do. So anybody who's listening, I'm feeling if he's going to turn left or right. I'm just waiting for that twitch so that I know what I'm going to do. What Jarvis is talking about, if you don't mind, Jarvis, you're talking about looking behind you, seeing where the centre back is and touching, feeling out for him. And as soon as he gets hold of him, either getting hold of his shirt or backing into him a little bit so that he's closer to the centre back. So the centre back doesn't have that time, which you're talking about, Jarvis, coming in and clouting him. That's what you mean by getting control of the centre back. I hope you don't mind me butting in.
You're right. You're seeing it from a defender's perspective, and I'm seeing it from Højlund's perspective. You have to have control, have an arm on your defender, know where he is all the time, because then you can angle your body in the right way when you receive the ball. If he's on that side, you angle it this way. If he's on that side, you angle it the other way. So it's not that hard, but it needs to be intuitive for him. He needs to do it on the automatic. You don't have the time to think because everything goes so fast when you're a striker. So he has a lot to learn, because we always see, especially in the beginning, he has developed this part of his game, but especially in the beginning, we saw him as a wrestler, as a WWF wrestler all the time, wrestling with the center backs. And he's strong, but it takes out.
He needs to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. He really needs to be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
But I don't know.
He's a lightweight wrestler at the moment.
I don't know if you have noticed this from the stands, how Højlund receives the ball, that he struggles. It's a lot of wrestling when he has the ball.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he didn't do much in the last couple of league matches. Like, he struggled to get into positions. All right, he won the pen against Chelsea, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And that was, like, rewarding. But he's been very quiet. He hasn't played bad, but he's, like you say, he's not got into them positions where, like you say, the ball's not been put in on the cross, has it? He's not getting in on him. So hopefully that will change in the next few weeks or the next couple of months.
So could that be a consequence of the team not really playing to maximize, like, Højlund? Like, we find that in Man United, like, the wingers are the ones that get the most chances, that the ones that take the most shots, and maybe because Højlund is doing UFC fights in the middle, it is one of those things that comes to my mind a bit, because, like, Ruben and Nistelrooy talked about this, saying that, oh no, we do create chances, we're actually up there in terms of chance creation in the Premier League, but you're like, but why is Højlund not getting the chances? Why is he not taking shots? Exactly. If you see like Haaland, if you see Darwin Núñez, the amount of times those guys get to shoot at the goals, it's so unfair. It's so unfair on Højlund right now. So
there's an age difference between them two players, a couple of years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That goal from Haaland on Saturday. You want our boy to be like that soon, don't you? But that's going to take that's going to take strength, confidence, and he went and he finished it like a shark. Seen it, bit it, finished it off, and put it in, and that's what we want our boy to be like.
One of the things, Pappy, that Højlund doesn't do, he doesn't walk around the centre back enough. So when we're whichever side of the ball field we're at, or whether we're playing for the middle, he doesn't wander around. So he's not walking around. He's not pulling the centre back away from the midfield. He's not pulling the centre back away from Bruno. He's, as Jarvis says, he's quite static, waiting for the ball to. And you'll notice that more, on a match day, that he doesn't move enough. And you don't have to run. You just walk occasionally. You walk to your left. Hopefully, you pull the centre back with you. You're walking behind him. You stand offside. And then get yourself back on. So you don't see all of that with him. And it's, the likes of Salah will test the limit all the time. Darwin Núñez, Andy's right. He had 6 shots yesterday, didn't he, or something ridiculous, or Saturday night. 6 shots, 6 attempts on. I know he scored 1, but he had 6 attempts, and that's what we're talking about, because he'll drop deep.
More shots. If you're getting the shots, eventually you're gonna hit the jackpot, aren't you? Keep shooting and shooting. Even like you say, don't shoot wildly. If you're shooting at the goal and carry on, and eventually it's gonna click.
Yeah.
It's got a good shot.
Brendan comes in and say fighting means that you have zero control of the situation, and this is what I see with Højlund.
Centre back wins that all the time.
Yeah,
centre back will always win.
You have the back against the goal. You're not controlling the situation.
Well, Harry Kane is good at that. I mean, he was a late bloomer, Harry Kane. He can hold the ball up, lay it onto people to score. He can hold up, turn and shoot. So he's got it all now. Like I say, he's near 31, 32. And our boy's just turned 21. So what's he going to be like? 23, 24? 25 in his prime? Same with
100%. And he will develop his game. I've seen him develop it immensely since he just came into the club 1 year ago. You remember the first game against Arsenal?
Well, it was
all about wrestling. Now you saw the Brentford game. He was excellent at the Brentford game. The Brentford defender didn't know what to do with him, because they couldn't push up, because it just turned the ball with him, and he dropped down. So they stopped trying after a while. So he's so much better now. But I'm just saying that's a part where he can develop, and when it comes to internet and YouTube shows, people got to remember we talk about the player. We're not trying to take a dig at Højlund. I think he's a massive talent and he will come good, but he needs experience. And we can't expect too much because he's young. And especially as a striker.
Target, innit? It's like, he's an easy target, and it's like, no.
What he needs to do under Ruben now is make sure that he stays fit, because this whole thing of him disappearing for a couple of weeks every new season needs to stop. You know, he needs to.
I mean, I think at certain points he was rushed. Mm-hmm. We lost him. We won 4 on the spin, and he was rushed back, and we lost him just after we won the 4th on the spin. We lost him against Fulham, and that impacted our form. You know. And we were in contention for the top 4, you know, but to push him, and he didn't recover from that at all. Until the end of the season.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, it's a good point.
And there's something else I saw from on the game yesterday. It's his movement in the box when the crosses are coming. He doesn't move right or left. He always moves straight ahead in the middle of the center of the goal. He doesn't know how to create space for himself. Yeah, it's very tunnel vision.
He doesn't check his rear view mirror and see all that behind him. You know, I can see lift the visor, mate. You know what I mean?
Yes.
F1 driver, you see everything, don't you? I always see the track. I can see that.
But he has one thought in mind, and that's being first.
Yeah,
in front of the goal. That's his only thought of mine. But he needs to develop this part of the game also. As a striker, you need to just let the defender be first. If you are in front of him, that's no problem. You will be able to score anyway. So
you got to in the 6-yard box, you know, on crosses and corners, you got to play hide and seek actually with the centre half. And sometimes you're better off hiding behind the centre half. But that's all about communication with your wing players. Look, I'm going to be in behind or in between the 2 centre halves. You know, I will step out around the penalty spot so that when you deliver the ball, I'm there. Or I'm going to get in front of the centre half and I want it to my left peg. That's what you have to communicate as a striker. As a defender, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. So, you were right there, actually. If you show that picture, you're about what?
Yeah, I just want to, because I have 3 crosses from yesterday's game, first half. This is the first cross in the 11th minute. You see Højlund here coming in.
Yeah, he's in a good position there.
He's in a good position. The cross is good.
Because
the problem is it overhits him. But then again, his movement is just straight toward the goals, and we don't have a lot of people when we go into the goal. You see, we have 2 guys coming in. It's Højlund and Ahmad, and those are the only ones. The second cross, I think it was from Nistelrooy again. Here you see him going for, I think it's this angle here. There's an opening. You don't have the full force. He goes into the duel, but he's 1 against 2, so it's not. He's too static at the moment. He's not having his momentum against the goal, and that's also a problem for a striker. You need to wait and don't take out your space too soon when it comes to attacking the space in front of goal. And the third cross was on the goal, and that was quite good because we came with lot of people. You see Casemiro here, you see Højlund here, and you have Bruno here and Ahmad on the far right. And we came with a lot of people, and then it's difficult for the defenders because they have to split up, and it's not that easy to pick your man. And that's when Bruno scored, or we had their own goal, and you see Højlund doing actually a good job occupying 2 defenders with his movement. So it's not all bad. He has these moments, but this is a part of the game where we can develop our play.
The problem there, Jarvis, is he was in the wrong place on all 3 occasions. As a striker, he was in completely the wrong place on all 3 occasions. And that's quite harsh to say, because the first one in particular, his position was great, but instead of veering to the right, where he would have gone on where he would have gone in the end of it, where there's more space, kind of come in and around and then bang, would have gone into the opposite corner. He's gone straight.
Yeah,
and then you're risking a duel. Then you're risking a duel, and you don't want to risk a duel all the time. The second one, where you're saying he's looking to penetrate that pocket, it's the wrong pocket. It's the wrong side. He needed to be the far side again, because it's very difficult to either get a header in there.
What I want to say is just a little bit more chemistry between him and the person who's crossing the ball, so that he can arrive at the first post, at the near post first. Because we have a lot of chances. Like, if you look at the movement of Isak actually has a little bit, he has the upper hand on this, so just making sure that you're arriving at the near post first, and that also comes, it's not a one-sided thing. It comes with knowing when your teammate is going to release the ball. So that's sort of like, hopefully something that gets
movement should be like this too. Do you agree?
Yes, that's where it should have been. Yeah, that's exactly where it should have been.
Yeah. That's the movement, not straight ahead. Because he creates space for himself by that movement. Because he drags the defender this way, and he can attack this space.
Correct.
If he can do that, and he'll draw the attackers, and like I say, he'll create spaces. Like I say, you got Bruno coming in behind. Other players will benefit. Like I say, if he's not getting on the end of it, and it goes to other players, they're drawn to him.
Yeah.
He's got to learn to draw players. Like I say, cause trouble. Get in front, like say, Bennett, so our players can get in on other crosses.
Yeah, he's got to spin. That second one, Mazzari could have played it on the deck, and then it would have been the right place for Højlund. If you go back to that second one, the start of the second.
This is the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, next a bit further right.
It's whether you got to put it in. No, this is where I was saying yesterday. It's United players were not making the right passes at the right times.
Was there one before that, or was there a picture before that?
Yeah, the first one. This is the first one when he attacks straight.
Not that one. I'm just trying to think of the place.
Then we have the goal. We have the goal. This is the goal.
Right there. Look, you know where Højlund. You see where Højlund is there. I know we scored off this, but you see Mazzari's got the ball. If Højlund was quick and he pointed between the two defenders, Mazzari's got the space to whip a lovely ball in, just to almost parallel with the quarter of the 6-yard box. Højlund could have got in between them, but got a shot off. Although we scored from that scenario anyway. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Different way of playing. But Bruno
scored from the area that Højlund should have been in.
He should have been there anyway.
Like this. Yeah. So this is the details that a player like Ruud van Nistelrooy actually could help Højlund to become the striker he needs to be. But speaking of strikers, we have a Joshua Zirkzee. Do you see any future for him under Amorim?
Oh yeah. You don't write off a 30 million player after 3 months. No chance. Like if you remember his goal, if you're getting into positions and that, he was at the Fulham goal, opening day of the season, the cross was put in and he was on the end, he stuck a foot out and put it out. Now that's the goal, that's the type of goal that you say in and around the 6-yard area. Yeah. You putting balls in like that, you're getting on him. He did this against Chelsea in the last minute. He got in and the cross was brilliant. It was just brilliant defending, but he's getting into them areas. That's it. If the Chelsea lad doesn't clear it, because all the Chelsea players were like, fantastic, you're high-fiving the defender. But Zirkzee got in and caused the trouble. When I say got the corner, because Chelsea were panicking. This was like the 92nd, 93rd minute, but getting it in and around that 6-yard box, and this is where he's got to continue. And like I say, learn, like I say, hopefully the new regime will push him and teach him to keep doing this. And you put the crosses in the box. Yeah. You put left and right. He'll get on the end of him.
I just see we are a little bit short on time. We are 1 hour 30 minutes into the show, so I just want to move on to the last topic of the evening, and this is the one with David. what's his name? David Coote. David.
Oh, yeah. I've seen the video. Oh, nutty.
Yeah.
The video.
Don't call Jurgen Klopp that.
See you
I mean, what you call it? You know, we all say things at the stadium, but a referee, and it makes you wonder about the Howard Webb and all these referees now, and some of the decisions. The referee and was it the PGML? Absolute disgrace. I mean, I even seen it today. I watched Robert from AFTV. He had a scouser on at DTTV, and he said he denied it. It was him. 4 hours later, he admitted it was him. 55 minutes later, he said, I can't recall it happening. So he denied it, admitted it, then said, I don't remember it recording. This is what Robbie was looking at. Some journalist come out, he denied it was him, then he admitted it was him, then he said, I don't remember it. I don't remember it. Honest to God, you would remember if you said stuff like that, mate, in front of somebody videotaping you. And I've seen all the kids, and he's, for the record, he is not a Man United fan. He is from Nottingham, and his team is Notts County. So, conspiracy theorists, like he cost X, Y, and Z. The Rodri handball against Everton. So, Saturday, he didn't give a pen on Mo Salah. But luckily, Liverpool scored, didn't they? So, and he was the fourth.
Yeah, he should have sent him off as well.
He was the VAR official when Liverpool scored at Tottenham last season. So, I tell you what, you got, from what I heard about, there's 7 or 8 allegations. Oh, God. And it's
not looking good.
It's not looking good in court, that, mate. That you can make it. There'll be a Netflix special on this in a few years' time, and they'll get somebody to play the ref.
I think the biggest thing for me is that I mean, why put yourself in that fucking position anyway? I mean, Jesus, what an idiot! But it's social fucking media, innit? Phones and cameras, and I kind of like. He shouldn't have said what he said. He's going to get called out, etc., etc., etc. But these two bellends that fucking filmed him, and then all they thought of is fucking that. They've just ruined a man's life, career. Now, yes, we don't know the ins and outs of what's going to come out, Andy. I think you're right. I think there are going to be certain allegations.
He is suspended with immediate
effect. Yeah, he's suspended, but these morons, and they are fucking morons, who were saying, we're not going to ruin his career, we're not going to ruin his life, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden they thought, well, let's just see how much the Mirror will pay us, see how much the Sun will pay us. Mm-hmm. And they've got this, and they've got this money. And it's just, I mean, don't ever put yourself in that position. I mean, what an idiot for doing that. Whether it was at a party, friends, whoever, what an idiot for doing it. But, these morons have recorded him. He said, didn't he, on the tape, whatever you do, don't put this tape out.
And he even had a video. He had a picture on his phone and he's shown it to the camera of him with a mask on during lockdown. And he was a fourth official, and Jurgen Klopp is right next to him. So
I mean, what people say in the privacy of their own is whatever, isn't it? But the problem is you can't do anything, because there's always some twat who's going to shove a fucking camera phone in your face, and he's going to fucking do you. Look, I've got no sympathy for the guy, and as much as if that's what he said, that's what he said. But I swear to God, if I was him, I'd be going out looking for these pricks. I really fucking would, and I'd stick him in the fucking Manchester Canal. Because
referees in the media, honestly, I saw the challenge on Saturday, and it's on TikTok. Type it out: Stoke Millwall. Player corner comes in, drops to the player. It's about to hit the equaliser for Stoke. Yank back, GBH on trial. Referee sees it like that, and you wonder. And this is in the Championship. Referees, the standard is awful. Even with
it is terrible.
Technology. Honestly, the referees, like you say, they'll back each other, they'll cover each other's rear ends and this, that, and the other. But like you say, they're in the gutter. Arteta last season, you know what I mean?
He's got a problem. He has got a problem. You're right, Howard Webb. I mean, he's going to have to seriously think about what he does, moving forward, because we all know Oliver's a corrupt fucker.
Oh, Jamie's come out with that was a bit stern from Jamie there, but
it's true.
Allegedly.
The biggest problem I've got with this whole thing is those two bellends with the camera. I can't abide idiots like that. I just because for them it's okay. For them it's all right. They're okay. They've got 50 grand in their back pocket each or whatever. He's now fucked. Rightly or wrongly, whatever. He's
still got his day job. The referees, they've already got other jobs on the side, X, Y, and Z. But it makes you wonder with the other, like you say, Andy Durso, it makes you wonder what the hell the West Ham as well. And Howard Webb says, he came out on the PGL, it wasn't a pen against us. And it makes you wonder about bias.
I know.
Yeah. And allegations with him and Man City in the past, because he did a match for City, a charity match. I was given 20 grand. The Arsenal standing off. City player should have been sent off. You know what I mean?
One of the Madley brothers
against Arsenal, honestly, last minute penalty against Liverpool. Not given, and that's from the same ref who's in this allegation, isn't it? So it just makes you wonder. It makes you really wonder.
What are they doing to make sure that they take out the bias from the referees? Because at the end of the day, they're human beings, right? But you shouldn't. As a human being, you'll have feelings towards a certain team, towards a certain manager, but all of those things should not affect you doing your job fairly. You have to. You know what I mean?
You need to bring some rest from abroad.
Yeah, I think you need
to. Honestly, it would seriously. You wouldn't have biased. You rotate. Bring some in from the French league 1 week, then the Bundesliga, Spain, Italy. Rotate. Try it, like you say.
You've got to do something, haven't you? He's got a real problem.
Referee decisions. These are like season-changing decisions. Liverpool can claim they lost out on a league, with that Rodri pen, X, Y, and Z. So it's like, allegations. It doesn't look good on paper or on TV, does it?
No, it doesn't. It'll be interesting to see what the fallout of this is.
There's definitely a documentary coming out with this, a couple of years' time.
And the PGMLO needs to do a thorough investigation on all the other refs that have not been caught on camera, because we can't just assume.
You wonder, is there any other refs been caught on camera saying this?
Yeah.
Privately, has Howard Webb been saying some stuff who caught on camera? X, Y, and Z. Some Casemiro getting sent off a couple of seasons ago against Crystal Palace. Guys,
when you think of it, imagine if people have this footage of a Premier League referee, how much power you have in your hands. You can blackmail them for results. You can sell it to the owners of Manchester City or whatever. Give it to them and say, here you go, give me £1 million.
They could be done for blackmail.
And they can blackmail or whatever. I'm just speculating here.
This ref could have been blackmailed. You don't know this yet.
Yeah, whatever, So
he could have been betting.
The consequences of this is massive when you think of it.
They are. If you remember back in the 80s, 90s, when Grobbelaar was done for match fixing, I was at Anfield that time, that game, where we drew 3 apiece with them. And Irwin scored from the free kick. Grobbelaar, I thought at the time Grobbelaar should have saved it, but it doesn't really matter. It was a brilliant free kick. Irwin was a master of it, but it's been going on for years, decades. Betting, blackmailing in football, decades. And it's even
I've seen allegations going back to the 60s. Barcelona recently as well.
What about the Colombian guy that got shot in 94?
World Cup 94,
his goal, they lost millions. So they shot him. It's been going on for years. Back in the 60s, you're absolutely right. It's been going on for absolutely years. And he'll never change it because it's even worse now because there's way too much money.
Was it the 1975 European Cup final? That referee allegedly cost Leeds the European Cup. You know what I mean? So all those back. If you're from Yorkshire, you still hold a grudge against some corrupt Germans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They robbed on Ruvi's 75, not having it.
That's wild.
For anybody that more money came into the game, imagine now. These billions of billions of billions of pounds.
This is dangerous territory now. Because if there's one ref who's done it, and then there's another ref, there could be other footage of other refs,
Oh, I think it's I mean, we know FIFA are corrupt, don't we? So we know UEFA are corrupt. We don't know whether the Premier League are corrupt. We'll find out, I guess, in 6 months' time or whenever.
I think we'll find out at Christmas when we'll get that. We'll get some answers X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
The Premier League now and the PGMOL, they've got some damage limitation to do big with City. This referee scandal. Football may never be the same again after the end of the season.
I don't think it will be. I think it's facing a crescendo.
For anybody that doesn't know the footage that we're talking about, by the way, Jarvis, if you want to add it to the stage,
we're just going to put some disclaimer. We don't know if this is not AI or anything.
Mate. I know it's not AI.
It's a man's life. I'm just saying as a disclaimer. I haven't seen anything. It's under investigation. So this is allegedly footage we are showing. I'm not trying to frame anyone.
Frame them, Jarvis.
and it's foul language.
He's as guilty as a puppy sitting next to a pile of poo.
He is guilty, yeah.
Here we go. You can see him.
What did you think of the Liverpool game earlier when you were fourth official?
Liverpool was shit.
What do you think of Jurgen Klopp?
Absolutely.
What would you say? Why would you say that Jurgen Klopp was a cunt?
Aside from having a right pop at me when I ref them against Burnley in lockdown, then he accused me of lying and then just had a right fucking pop at me. And I've got no interest in speaking to someone who's fucking arrogant. So I do my best not to speak to him. Milner's all right. I get on with so
James Milner. You get someone James Milner.
You can see me there with mask on.
Yeah. Mask on, obviously.
Yeah. COVID, got to be done. Social distancing, right? We're 2 meters apart.
We have to social distance.
Yeah. So, oh my God. German can't fuck me.
Long story short, Jurgen Klopp's a cunt. Liverpool are all fucking bellends, and we hate Scousers.
I think that lad who recorded that, he's in trouble as well. You're gonna have some Liverpool fans gunning for you, pal, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, again, he must have known. When you're in it, you put yourself in that situation, whether he was hammered or not, and you've got somebody shoving a phone in your face. When you're high level like he is, whether we like it or not, he's high level, isn't he, in the game of football, as Jarvis said. You're in for a fucking. I mean, you're just. But those absolute bellends must have thought Christmas had come at once. Those idiots recorded him. But Andy's right. He there's going to be consequences all over the fucking shop there.
Mm-hmm.
There will
be. We have memberships. We have 5 memberships from.
In that case,
Jonathan Liljenberg coming in with 5 memberships with this Swedish kroner.
Yes, Swedish kroner.
New members with you.
Oh my God!
Pappy's in there.
This is all got next to me.
That's
hold on. Here it comes. Here it comes.
It's gone. It's gone. I can't find it.
Well, you're gonna have to give him something.
Oh. Poppy has the horns. We have new members. We have a Faith Thee coming in. Big up. Welcome to the membership gang. The waiting room. We have Barefoot Dreams, Martin Woodward, and Steve. Those are the 5 new members. Welcome to the MUFC Realist TV membership club and special content. Whenever Mick will make a special member video. So thank you for gifting those memberships, Jonathan Linienberg. We are 1 hour 45 minutes into the show, so I have a little bit devil's advocate-ish, but it's not quite devil advocate. But since we have 3 guys, I have 2 questions for each. It's very simple this time, so stay tuned. Yes, and now we do the devil's advocate. I have 2 questions for each, and it's very simple this time. I saw this on Facebook, so I just copied it because I think it was kind of funny. So, guys, the topic is start, bench, or sell, because it's Man United legends versus current players. So we first go with Stu. Start, bench, or sell? Schmeichel, Van der Sar, or Onana?
Well, it's easy. Start Schmeichel, you bench Raymond, and you piss off Onana. Very easy one. Schmeichel.
That was an easy one.
For me. I mean, a lot of people love Van der Sar, don't they? But for me, Schmeichel was just top draw. For me, anyway.
The big Dane, Peter Schmeichel. Yeah. But he played for Manchester City, so he lost a little bit of cred when it comes to.
I forgot that.
My dad still that does not sit well with my dad. Still 20 years old. He tells me that all the time.
Okay. Lucky Singh comes in and says, "Stu, that's a simple one." And Lucky Singh,
I got easy with that one.
Schmeichel as the one to start. Andy, we're going to fullbacks.
Fullbacks. Go on then.
Okay, Dennis Irvin, Patrice Evra, or Dalot?
Easy.
Start, sell, or bench?
Easy.
I would play Dennis Irwin. I would bench Evra because that is a great combo if you wanted to swap them 2. Yeah. And I would bench Dalot. Sell Dalot.
Sell Dalot. Okay. I agree. By the way, Dennis Irvin, he was something special. He was probably the best fullback I've ever had at our club. 2-footed. He could score a goal. Didn't he score like 15 goals one season or something like that?
Something like that. He was a penalty taker as well as free kick specialist. And that red card at Anfield. Red card at Anfield in '99. Never.
I know. I was there that day as well. Stevie Bruce, I think, is our highest scoring defender, isn't he, in one season?
18 goals, 11 pens.
11 pens, I know, but he still got 18, didn't he? Still scored 18 goals.
Oh, yeah, it's still a hell of a, like you say, he's manager at Blackpool now, isn't he? So, hell of a comeback rate. That a great season, 1990-91.
Brilliant.
Alien.
Go on, Happy.
Let's go.
Alien 10 comes in. He says Dennis Irvin. Start Dennis Irvin. Dave 147 say Irvin, Evra, and Dalot. So I think they agree with you. But the waiting room comes in and say start Evra, bench Irvin, and sell Dalot. Well, let's see. And going to the next, it's Poppy. We got center backs, start, bench, or sell. Rio Ferdinand, Jaap Stam, or Lautaro Martinez.
Oh, you bastard.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Rio, Stam, or Martinez? Martinez, Leach.
Start Rio. Rio for me is the epitome of what every Man United centre back should model themselves as. Even though Messi, dunked on him with a header, Start Rio. This next one is tough. Bench, Stam, and then Leach, I can go on loan. I'm not selling him.
No. You have to sell him. Bench, start, bench, sell.
It hurts me, but I'll sell with a buyback clause.
Okay.
Sell Leach with a buyback clause.
Do you concur? Do you agree, guys?
I would have gone. I'd have gone the other way around, because I play more like Yapstam, but you know what? There's a cigarette's width between them, paper width between them.
I know. I'd play Rio.
I can see why most would play Rio. I get it. I do get it. Yeah.
Stam is the favorite in the VAR room. Dave 147, DJ Superfly, and Brendan Chappell.
I get it. I do get it. I get it.
But Rio and Leach, I would have made a formidable pair as well.
Yeah.
They would have
pair as well. God.
Okay, Stu Woolley, you're coming up.
That was difficult.
Yes, I'm ready.
We are coming into the midfield section. Central midfielders.
Easy.
Kobe Mainoo, Michael Carrick, or Roy Keane? Mainoo, Carrick, Keane. Sell, bench, start. Start, sell, bench.
Now we're talking. That's tough.
So I would start with Carrie Keane. And I would bench Mainoo, which means I've got no one to sell.
Who the hell is Carrie Keane?
Carrick and Keane together, melded together.
Pick one.
Funny enough, I started my career out as a central midfielder, holding midfield player, and I actually modelled my game on Paul Ince because I used to love Paul Ince. So I would start with Keane. I would bench Carrick because Carrick was so underrated for us. He was a phenomenal player for us, and I would, unfortunately, sell Mainoo. But I will go with Pappy, and I'll buyback clause. But that is a tough one. That is.
I see the most of the VAR room agrees. Dave 147 comes in with Keane, Carrick, Mainoo. Jamie Wayne the same. Keane, Carrick, Mainoo. Alien Tenno, big up Peter, comes in and say Keno, and Trevor Wade, Keno comparing. So I think most of the VAR room agrees with you. Lucky Singh also comes in with Roy, and Brendan Chappell with Keane, Carrick, Mainoo. So
I think it's the right one,
yeah. We have now gone on to the wingers. Andy, are you ready?
Yeah, fire away.
Start, bench, or sell Giggs, Ronaldo, or Rashford?
Thank you, Lord.
Just before you answer that,
why does he get the easy one?
Andy,
Before
you answer that, Andy, I would go with, if I may, and he's going to fucking hate me now, Mr. Tate is, remove Sir Marcus of Rashford and put in the legend that is Sir Stephen Coppell.
You don't want to remember Stephen Coppell.
What about Steve Coppell?
Well, he managed Man City for 31 days. I remember that. But yeah, Stephen Coppell was a bit
legend for us. Yeah, he probably was on the right. He was superb, Coppell. Brilliant player.
I'm going with the first Champions League team, the second Champions League team, and the current team. That's the
Gordon Hill as well. Yes, now Alien Turno. Gordon Hill on the left, Coppell on the right. Yeah, real quality.
So what was it? Ronaldo, Rashford, and who?
Giggs, Ryan Giggs.
Yeah. Well, I would play Rashford. I will play Ronaldo. No, fuck off.
Clip this.
Fucking irony.
He said it. He said it.
Ronaldo first all the time. Giggs on the bench, and I will fucking sell Marcus Rashford. That's it. For 60 million, and use that 60 million to invest for the future and get two to three players out of that. I was saying this Old Trafford yesterday. If Ineos want to be serious, you give full backing to the manager, and if it's not working out, I'm sorry, mate. You're just a name passing through. Like most of the other players, the fans will always be here. Players just passing on through.
We have Alien 10
said Rashford first.
Sorry, can we go with VAR? Because I could have sworn I heard start Rashi. All right, can we go VAR, please? VAR. What's the VAR rule say?
Because there's an R in it. An R. Ronaldo. Everyone knows that.
Okay, the last is the striker. It goes to Poppy.
Oh,
I think this is a
hard.
difficult one.
It's going to be horrible.
No, Martial, please. Okay.
Nah, it's not too difficult. Cantona, Nistelrooy, or Højlund.
Oh, that's easy.
I should have put Rooney in there, okay?
Yeah. No. Let's take
Cantona, Rooney, Højlund.
Oh,
right. Start Cantona. No, actually.
No, you had the best striker of all time in there before.
Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, the greatest ever. Well, in my opinion, I think it was just tremendous.
So start Cantona, bench Ruud van Nistelrooy, because Ruud van Nistelrooy has as many goals that he scored for Man United. He only scored one from outside the box. So I want somebody like with more.
Is that the one against Fulham when inside his own half did all that run? Is that the goal you referred to?
Start with the elbow in the circle.
Yeah.
And then I kill. Not kill. Sorry, sell. No. Sorry.
I had problems. I had Rashford syndrome. What are you on?
No, you know what?
You had too much broccoli with your chicken.
Andy, this game reminded me of Kill, Mary, whatever. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, that one. So sell, Højlund, and obviously, Ruud van Nistelrooy comes off the bench.
You
second
need to keep off the veg, mate. I'm telling you.
I
know veg is good for you, but Jesus, wow.
Can I just dive in on this?
You might have to change your veg.
No. Please do.
Because I'm somewhat struggling with this one as well. Apart from it was the third one, Højlund. Yeah. So the reason I would put Ruud, but hear me out fully first, at the top is because of his goal scoring exploits. However, I think Cantona does get it, and for this one reason and this one reason alone. He is almost the one touch or one chance, one finish merchant. There's been loads of games, hasn't there? The FA Cup final against Liverpool, the championship winning game against Newcastle, where we've had that one chance, it's fallen to Cantona and he's put it away. He also
remember it.
Yeah, he also, in my mind, and this goal never gets mentioned, scored his finest goal away to Sheffield United, and I think it was a cup competition on a real horrible FA Cup.
I don't know about that, mate.
That's my favourite goal. I know everybody goes to that one. I prefer the Sheffield United one because the backspin he put on that to score that goal is just
and the celebration to the Sheffield United fans.
Yeah, it's just tremendous.
This was a week before Kung Fu kicking was invented.
It wasn't.
It was a week before Kung Fu became a meme in the 90s. Everybody
I agree with the Sunderland goal. I agree with the Sunderland chip, but I think the Sheffield United chip is, in my opinion, I think it's a more difficult one to. Yeah. And I love that goal. That's one of my favourite ever goals. That I really
did one against Arsenal. 1-2 blast. I remember that.
Blast,
He had this thing about him that that the goals are gonna come, and for me that's Cantona is just personifies what any Manchester United striker should sort of model themselves after. I think he's also the guy who scored the first Premier League hat trick, if I'm not mistaken. So he by then obviously I think he was still playing for Leeds or something.
Leeds, yeah.
So Cantona for me is the GOAT. He's the number one. I love even if you put Rooney in this conversation, it would be
It's one of the areas where you would really struggle to really pinpoint because you got Georgie Best as well, Bobby Charlton. So really one difficult, but I mean, you must have been there, Andy, when he came back after his ban and he scored the penalty at home to Liverpool.
Yeah,
and
I mean, within the first
he twirl on the post, didn't he? Not the post, but the back.
Yeah, 2 minutes. He set up Nicky Butt.
He did, yeah.
2 minutes, and he scored the pen as well as. I mean, that season we had a couple of 1-0s. It was against Arsenal, Newcastle, Tottenham.
Yeah.
Coventry as well. We had a couple of 1-0s, and I think he scored about, let's say, 7 games was 1-0, and he was a goal scorer. He was the difference.
It's one of those. I know Georgie Best has made a good point. 156 games, only 56. But some of those 56 were absolute pivotal to winning us trophies. But I get that. It's a good point.
So glad you liked the start bench sell devil's advocate for
by the way,
evening.
Trev the bastard, he said he'd start Jarvis, he'd bench Andy and fuck me off and give fucking Pappy the manager's job.
Let's go. Let's go, Trev.
I lost 5 minutes.
I am benched. Andy benched Jarvis and giving it the big in there. Fucking hell. I just want to mention that. Absolute disgrace, Mr. Wade. Disgrace.
Mr. Trevor Wade, always with his banter. I would say we can do 15 minutes of Q&A before we finish off the show.
You stick around, Andy.
Yeah. It's my night off. Fire away.
Fantastic. Let me play the for
play the intro. Yes.
Where is it? The Q&A. The Q&A jingle.
Embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Just before we start the Q&A, it's been a hugely lively debate tonight. It's been an absolutely brilliant show. There's tons of you watching, by the way. There's 322 showing on my screen, but I'm sure Jarvis has probably got access to more. So thank you ever so much. And there's a few of you watching on Pappy's channel as well. Great to have Mr. Take Back. Great to have Pappy here, and great to have Jarvis here. Although his performance tonight has been questionable, Trev, I think I should start. You should bench Jarvis and Andy together. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there. We've had some lively debates, which is good. And debate, by the way, is always good. It's never personal on this show. I just wanted to point that out to anybody. If I've offended anybody, I didn't mean to. I'm just a passionate football fan, and I know that people in the VAR room are the same. And it would be great if any of you ever wanted to come on and debate with us. We'd love to have you. We really, really would. So I just wanted to say that. Pappy has never failed, as always, to cheer me up. But nothing will ever beat. And I wish we could clip the old broccoli incident, because
I know
that floret was the size of Pappy's face.
Let's just say, thank God it was after the watershed. 9 a.m. 9 a.m. is the watershed in the UK. If that was before 9 a.m., YouTube would have shut this stream down.
Because the way he was doing it, like that, it was like, anyway, we won't go into it.
Yeah. We don't need to go that.
No, that's good. You see now, kills too.
Heal. Guys, we've got loads of questions. I think you've already answered this one, Andy. This is from Trev, the brilliant Trev. Ask Andy if he's an Irish fan. that jersey a few weeks back, or does he want
What the hell do you think that is? What the hell?
There you Jesus. Go. Trev, you've been told. Jarvis, Jamie's got kind of a point, really. He's just asked a question. Where do you think Amorim did his manager internship? And he went on to say where he did it. But he did do it, didn't he, under Jose, I believe.
Jose Mourinho. Yeah, he was at Man United at his interimship. But the funny thing is, he never took his FIFA license. He coached his team in Portugal for a lot of years without his FIFA license. So he was the assistant manager, but everybody knew he was the manager. So that's like a fun fact on Amorim. But now he finally has his FIFA license and he can coach Man United. So that's good. That's good.
Did he do it through the Welsh FA scheme? Did I read somewhere he fast-tracked it? There was a Welsh FA scheme years ago. Do you remember, Andy, where you could go through the Welsh FA and fast-track your license? Somebody in the VAR may be able to. They might be able to buy it in the dark. It's true, yeah. I'm sure, and I don't want to bring Ian up because he's not happy about the Thierry Henry handball, but I think Henry went through the Welsh FA. Maybe somebody could have a look and let us know.
I don't think Thierry Henry would be fast tracked through the Irish FA, would they? After that handball,
no chance. No chance. How the ref never saw that, still, it's anybody's guess, isn't it? But there you go.
Yeah.
Right. Jamie, yes, you're absolutely right. And it was under Jose Mourinho. So nice bit of a tidbit there from Jarvis. I'll bring you back onto the bench there, pal. I think you're kind of redeeming yourself. You're not quite there yet, but you're getting there, pal. Okay. My tube says, or Mewtube. Andy, be honest. Do you see a world without Marcus Rashford? Oh God!
Hey! Last week there was a world without Donald Trump, and now the Trumpmeister is back, mate. Anything can happen. So hold on to your curtails. If it doesn't work out, oh yeah. Oh, in the words of Macho Man Randy Savage, oh yeah. God. Anything can happen.
Even I remember him. At YouTube, you've heard it from the horse's mouth, Mr. Tate. Who knows? Watch this space by the looks of it. Pappy, for you, that's a really good question. This, I think I know the answer, but Madhouse says, would you sell Casemiro in the summer?
Madhouse, are you mad? No.
Oh God!
No.
All right. Jarvis, can you get the yellow card out, please, pal?
I just had to go for it. All right,
you did. You need the yellow. Hold on, Pappy. There, give yourself a yellow. Good luck.
All right. So actually, if the right offer comes, yes. But realistically, would the right offer, come? I don't know if there'll be a lot of suitors for Casemiro at this point, if it's not the Saudis. So I think he's important to have in this Man United squad to just, give Maino a little bit of that, a mentorship, somebody that he can look and study from the bench.
He did go off the boil though for 6 months, didn't he?
True. I think it's important, for Kobbie Maino's development, we don't give him too much too soon. Like you can't eat too much broccoli in one bite. You have you have to take bites of things you can.
You can't open it wide. You got to take little nibbles. You can't take it whole.
Exactly. I'll end it right
there. Madhouse, I hope that's answered your question. My little caveat to that would be, it looks like the end of the road, doesn't it, for Messi into Miami? I wouldn't be surprised if Casemiro didn't end up at Miami. That would be my little caveat. I could be wrong, but who knows? Madhouse, I hope that answers your question. Ian's in with a really good question, actually. He says, it was to Agate's benefit that Maino was injured because him and Cass played well together. Would Agate have got that had Maino been fit? I think that's a really good question, and I would go on a limb here and say I don't think so. I think it's worked in Ruud's favour. That Ugarte is starting to get fit and he's starting to demonstrate what Manchester United thought they were buying, although we saw very little of it at PSG, and he played a different style, didn't he, in Portugal? Yeah. So I actually think he probably wouldn't. No, I think Maino probably would have started. What do you guys think? It's a good question.
I think he would have, like you say, I seen a Sky Sports reporter last month. There was a podcast, sort of clip, some journalists or English media think they're so right and so self-entitled. Like I saw the other one, Gary Cottrell, like the other week as well. And this Sky Sports podcast, he's like, I think one of the Man United signings that's failed is Ugarte. And I was thinking, Jesus Christ. He even contradicted himself. He said he's only played 120 minutes, but I still don't think he's a good player. He contradicted himself on criticising him. So I would think, like you say, I don't think Ten Hag wanted to play him, so I agree. Like you say, he would have been playing Manu, but now he's had a run of games, and it's like somebody's misfortune is somebody's benefit. So yeah,
happens, doesn't it, in football?
And you've seen Ugarte, like say, he's a loan. It's a loan for the season with an option to pay 60 million, isn't it? Is that
apparently
right?
So, yeah. So
I would say, if he carries on doing what he's doing, definitely we'll be paying that 60 million within FFP. We're going to be spending on Ugarte in the summer if he carries on doing what he's doing.
Yeah, we didn't buy him, did we? We didn't buy him.
No, it was an obligation. It was a loan with an obligation. Because they were digging their heels in PSG. I remember. They were digging
that's true.
Yeah.
Ian, hope that answers your question. Sorry, Pappy, your opinion on that one.
No, I it's pretty much the same as Andy. I think, if it fit Maino. So I think Ruud van Nistelrooy went with the same midfield trio all 4 games. And if Maino was fit, he would have had to, at least for the Leicester Carabao Cup game, maybe switched it up, which, on paper, the decision feels like it's the right decision, but it's actually important for the midfield to build a chemistry and synergy together. As many games that they can play together.
If you look at it, before the sacking, Ten Hag sacking, he was playing a lot with Casemiro. He played Casemiro and Eriksen 3 games straight as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ian, hope that answers your question, pal, if you're still watching. Trevor's rinsing me. He didn't know he was in a Muppet show. Well, Trev, there's a lot you don't know about me, pal. There's a lot you don't know about me. And you're asking whether or not Big Bird and Stuffalicious were good to work with. I was Big Bird. I was Big Bird for 10 years in the Muppets. Unfortunately, I had to give my costume back. I wasn't allowed to keep it, but I was Big Bird. So next time you watch
Sesame Street, that's not the Muppets. Sesame Street.
Well, no. But Sesame Street was in association with the Muppets. Yes, Kermit was always on there.
Well, it's not the Muppet Show.
Kermit was
he was alone.
Sesame Street was a Cookie Monster. Okay.
I would like to just say, as I worked on the show, that Kermit was the only one ever present between, and Andy's right, the Muppets and Sesame Street.
Right.
Not many people know that.
Gonzo a couple of times,
Gonzo a couple of times. Miss Piggy, no, we didn't like Miss Piggy. Every time she came on set, I give her a quick wing, and off she went. Because it was a wing,
in
my Big Bird, it was a quick wing, and off she went. So
put the birdie and the birdie in the chop. Yeah, you know what I mean?
So next time you want,
that's his chicken and broccoli, isn't it? Birdie and a birdie.
Trev, I hope that answers. Trev's in here with a few questions. Let me see. Right. Well, we kind of Jarvis, and we've covered this. Just to say, we've covered that one. It was a good question at the time, Trev. But, we covered it, pal. What else have we got here? Football is so fickle. Just wondering, does anyone think of Onana now? Okay, Jarvis, you can take this one because it's a decent question by Trev. Football is so fickle. Just wondering, what does everyone think of Onana now? He's been so solid second half of last season and throughout this. Has he banished all the naysayers?
Well, I just want to start with, remember last season, I think we had 18 or 19 different centre-back partnerships in front of him. Football is a game of 11. It's not a game of one goalkeeper, and everybody plays together. And for Onana, playing with new centre-back pairings all the time, it's quite difficult, because in the game of football, people doesn't realize the defenders, how they angle him themselves, and how they block certain angles of the goal for the goalkeeper to just cover, for example, one side, the defender takes the other side, and vice versa. So you have to be able to almost telepathically understand how you play together, and having a solid center-back pairing ship that in front of you is vital. And now we have seen more stability in front of Onana, and we saw it when he played at Inter. He was a good goalkeeper. So some players just need a little bit more time and stability, and I think Onana is one of those.
Yeah, I remember that double save against Fenerbahce in the first half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that stopped yesterday, that was good as well.
Yeah. No.
It's been massive. It's been extremely good this season. And I'll give it to Onana. That's a decent comeback. Everybody wrote him off last season after a terrible season, and he was considered a flop. And now he's made a comeback. And I can trust Onana going forward and see him being a Man United keeper for the next 4 to 5 years.
And let's not forget, he's top of the charts for clean sheets. He had a save of a penalty, Champions League, and then versus, I think, Southampton or one of the teams early on in the season, this season. So he's turned the corner. And had they scored that penalty, who knows how the.
And they were in the ascendancy at that moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he's really turned the corner, and I want to give him his flowers as well. So big up, Andre Onana.
Trev, that's answered your question there. Let's see what else we've got. We'll go backwards. So, sugar question. I pray it works, but please, can you imagine what the fan base will do if Amorim doesn't work? Also because of these players. Andy?
There's nowhere to hide. It can't be now. Can't be the manager all the time now. This is Ineos's little playbook, little Lego set. They're building this how they want it. They've got their coach. It is not a manager. It is a coach. He has to work under their system. Does he have a power of transfers? Does he have a veto? Has he got to say?
Who knows?
So this is on Ineos. This is their little project, and it's not the manager now. Unless it backfires really dramatically, Ineos will be, like you say, Ineos could be torn from pillar to post in 2 years' time if this doesn't work, or 18 months. But it's now on the players. It can't be the manager now. No more player power. If you've got to get rid of somebody, don't care who you are, you're gone. You're not performing. Oh, but what about my feelings? What about my contract? No, sorry, mate, you're gone.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, Andy. Sugar, sometimes you got to get tough with these players, and I hope that answers your question. Pappy, Ian's back with another one. Should we not be buying a striker? Should that not be one of our first priorities, by a goal scorer?
Ian, I think the biggest piece of the puzzle to figure out for me, as I mentioned, is the wing backs. I mean, we saw what the tactical board that Jarvis had earlier on. It shows us how important wing backs are to have a successful Amorim system. So you need people that can do a proper successful ball carrying and also defend. Like there was this video that I saw about Amorim, what he expects of the wing backs. It's something like, he expects a wing back to be able to whip across in and get back into a defensive position in a certain amount of time. And that is a big, big ask for a player, to have that type of stamina, to be able to do that, do offensive duties and make sure you're not slacking on your defensive duties. So we're probably going to have to thin out and weed out the deadwood of players that are asked to play the wingback position and can't. So I think the priority should be on that one, and then he has to figure out how to develop Højlund, figure out how to develop Xerxes, and maybe make way for Ethan Wheatley. Remember, we still have a young guy, Cheeto Obi Martin, in the works as well in the pipeline.
We just.
Can I say one thing?
Of course.
I've heard Ruben. He attended all matches when he came to Sporting Lisbon. He attended youth matches and seen the potential to and analysed to bring team in. Man United play tomorrow under 23s against the Huddersfield Town in it's like the Auto Windscreen Trophy. It's a Football League trophy. And I just wonder if he's going to be at Huddersfield tomorrow.
Oh, is it Huddersfield? We're away.
Yeah, away at Huddersfield. So I just wonder, is he going to attend that just to get a feel of like to view some players? So like you say, I'm going to look at some youngsters and you look at these young players tomorrow. The game's irrelevant because United have already qualified for the next round. But if there's any players there, like you say, I want to see these youngsters play. Oh, these are in my plans as well. So hopefully tomorrow, if he does attend, he'll be there with his coaches and get his feet, unless he's training tomorrow, straight in the car, up the M62 to Huddersfield, and he'll be there in the director's box looking and, doing some jotting down on the old iPad. I just hope he's got a good Wi-Fi connection. Do you know what I mean? Making some notes, but he could be there tomorrow.
I think if he's there, the country will know about it. I do.
Yeah, because the cameras will be there.
The cameras will be looking for him. Ian, I hope that's answered your question, pal. Trevor's back in, Jarvis. Can anyone tell me why Fletcher is still at United? Where's there to chaperone his two sons? He's like a cat with 9 lives.
Well, I don't have anything against Fletcher, but yeah, it's a question mark, and I hear people saying that he's the Glazers' spy puppet. I don't know if you have heard these rumors, Sandy, in the Manchester area, or
I heard this today. First time I've ever heard it. The Glazers puppets.
Yes, I hadn't heard
that Fletch. So
yeah. I hadn't heard
but I have to say, I'm not taking a dig at Fletcher. He was a great player for Man United, and when it comes to players, he was one of the guys being really vocal on the pitch. He was, he was very underrated in how he commanded the Man United team in shouting and screaming and commanding players all around the pitch. So he was one of the better players, and he took really responsibility. So I know he wasn't the most talented player, but he had heart for Man United, and he played the game.
That's some of them players you'll never have. And I'll give Fletcher these dudes for that. Some of them modern day United players, they don't have the heart to play on the pitch.
100%. So I'm not too skeptical about Fletcher. I think he knows the club, and you have to have some continuance in the club. You can't change them all out at one time. So, I'm okay with Fletcher staying.
When Oli gave him the job, he said, "Oh, Fletcher has Man United DNA in his veins," And I always found that a little suspect, but at the end of the day, he's a legend.
But for the boys,
it's not just for the boys for me, Andy. It's a Man United DNA. What is that? At the end of the day,
don't forget though, guys. Phil Neville was a coach for us at one point. Nicky Butt coached us at one point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. How's he gonna? Going to work with Darren Fletcher, or is he been told you've got to work with Darren Fletcher?
It sounds interesting.
So you've got to work with Fletcher. Why couldn't you work with Ruud?
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. That will be interesting. Guys, we've got 2 questions to go. Pappy, this one's for you. Because you brought this up, Conte won the league with a 3-4-3, but it lasted less than 2 years. Will we get me words out in a minute, still be playing a 3-4-3 in 2 years' time?
Interesting.
Great question, 147.
Brilliant question. I think we will. I hope we will be staying with a 3-4-3. This is why I think so. So having a specific formation helps you clarify your recruitment priorities. if you know for sure this is the formation we're playing, you're actually looking for players that can fit that system. You're not necessarily looking for stars. You're not looking for the hottest name in the market. It's more about really figuring out like, oh, okay, these are the requirements for the number 10, for the left-sided forward in this system. Look at this player at this, at this club, and it really like refines and filters out a lot in the recruitment side of things. So I want that continuity factor as well. I want to see us have a fresh new identity. It's a formation we haven't, not even under Fergie, we didn't play this. No. I think Louis van Gaal introduced a back three for a short period of time. Yeah. But all the other coaches, I don't remember anybody putting it back three.
Only played the back five a couple of times.
Yeah,
back three. Yeah.
So I really want us to have that continuity factor, and I want to see the 3-4-3 trickle down to the under 23s, under 18s, and that just becomes our fresh.
We did a back five after we got tonked by 6-1 by Tottenham, and we went on a 20 game unbeaten run, 21 game unbeaten run. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's my answer, Dev. I hope you're satisfied with it.
Yeah, great answer. Trev's back in. Thank you, Trev. What colour's the mankini for Xmas? I can't kind of share that with you just yet. But I've narrowed it down to 3 colours to choose from. Okay. So I will keep you looped in on that one. And
broccoli green.
Well, yeah. What else has been going on? What am I looking for? I haven't fared so well on the the keep, bench, and sell. Neil Driscoll would sell me. I seem to, I've rubbed people up the wrong way tonight because everyone wants to sell me, sack me off by the looks of it. So that's all good. Alien Tono's come up with a question for you, Jarvis, and then the final question will be for Andy because it's about the 18s and 21s.
Okay.
Here's my question from Alien Tono. Will Shaw be fit for the World Cup and not play for United? Just before you answer that, I hope everything's all right with you, Pete, and you're fighting fit, mate.
Yeah. Big up, Pete. I just want to say, when it comes to Shaw, I think he's a strange one, and I think he will be fit very soon now. Amorim comes in. I think he will be back, and I don't know what's going on with Luke Shaw, if he's not motivated to play for the club anymore, or if he's just injured. I think maybe his body is breaking down, and he can't do it anymore. I tend to believe it's last. That he's.
I hope Malacia can take his place.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. But for us as Man United, his employer, he shouldn't have gone to the World Cup this summer. He should have stayed at Man United and played and recovered and be ready for the beginning of the season. I think he made a really bad choice. Prioritizing going with the Southgate with England was it the Euros? Yeah, the Euros.
Yeah, the Euros. Yeah, it was a bad choice.
And I think it will haunt him for a long time. That decision, that was a bad decision. So I don't know if he will ever be back at Man United. And I'm not sure, Andy. How do you feel about Luke Shaw and the Man United fans? Have they given up on him, Andy?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Sorry. I would say he's like, I'm more settled now with this back four with the signings. But we need a left back, definitely. I'm not really bothered about it, Luke, if he comes back or not anymore. I'd rather concentrate on getting the other lad fit and then trying to get him back because he's young, he's strong, he can come back, Malacia. And maybe add an addition in January and they say cancel a contract or move him on. If he's like you say, the manager will come in and he'll go, right, I don't need you. You can go, mate. That's it. You can complain till the cows come home. You're not fit. I can't get you fit. You got some game time. I don't need you. You're fit now. You can go out on loan. I'm sure somebody, if he's not used and he's fit, I'm sure some other team will take him in January.
I think, I think it's time up for him as well. Unfortunately, I think if he hadn't got that broken leg in Holland, we may have seen a different player.
You can't blame him on that.
No, we'll never know. We'll never know. I mean, I've played against David Boost on a couple of occasions, and he came back from that horrific injury that inflicted at Old Trafford that day.
I was there, mate. I was right behind the goal. I
wasn't behind the goal, but I was there. Yeah, it was horrible. Dennis Irwin, it shook him.
They're bringing sand out. They're bringing out buckets of sand to soak up the blood. Oh,
yeah, it was awful.
Washing away the blood with water. Oh, man.
Terrible.
I couldn't even face the pitch for about 10, 15 minutes.
But he's still going strong. So, I would wish Luke Shaw all the very best. Andy, final question for you. And it is, I've got to find it. And it is, although it says for the panel, but you're the expert, I would say. What do we think about the under 18s and under 21s have been killing it? What do you all think about the Elatoon situation with the commentators? I don't know what happened with Elatoon. I know something happened yesterday in the 0-0 draw against Villa, but I don't know exactly what happened.
I know what happened, but Andy, go ahead and
want to touch on the 18s and 21s, Andy.
Is this like you say, that new lad from Arsenal? He's done it. He's doing it again this weekend. My dad was telling me, and he done it. He scored. Was it 16-minute hat trick against Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, I think he scored 5 goals in 2 games. Hasn't he?
Honestly, he's like you say. Ruben's gonna look at him definitely, and you utilize him in the squad. I mean, if the strikers are not firing, you know what? I'm going to put them in the Europa League match. Got 2 Europa League matches. There's a home game, there's an away game.
Yeah, and we should be winning both of them.
Carabao Cup as well. I'm being an ex-Arsenal. You want to do Tottenham over, give him some motivation if you want to play him. So Arsenal fans that will actually they're seeing red because we've got him. So I'll use him. Like you say, he could be there tomorrow at Huddersfield, Ruben. He could. I say that lad could be playing tomorrow in the under 23s. Let's hope so.
I would. Yeah, I'd play him. I think Kone's got a chance as well.
Like you say, there's chances now for youngsters to break into this squad, and if you take a superstar's place, so be it.
Yeah, it is what it is. And Pappy.
Yeah, so the Elatoon situation, for people that don't know, Manchester United women were playing Arsenal women, just recently, and Elatoon was subbed off, I think about after an hour or so, and United was trailing 1-0, and the commentator just decided to be a prick and said that Elatoon's face, she looked like a smacked bum, like he was. Okay. Yeah, that was caught on tape, on camera, and he said that, and now the WSL is launching an investigation on it. Why would you say that about a player, when you wouldn't say that about a male player? So it's he wasn't being an absolute, unprofessional prick, to say the least. So yeah. It was really horrible, and I agree with the waiting room. It's just a very distasteful comment, and he should probably be suspended or taught a lesson to just think before you say some stuff, especially when you have an official job as a commentator.
Yeah. I didn't know that. So, and Trev, I didn't know it was the Irish FA. I thought it was the Welsh.
What was the score in the match in the end? Did we lose?
Well, no, it ended 1-1.
When it ended 1-1, yeah, we drew with Villa yesterday, 0-0. Guys, that wraps up the Q&A. I'll hand you back over to the main man that is Jarvis. Now that everyone wants to sell me, and I will let Jarvis see you out. In fact, I'll go into the corner and sulk.
Well, don't sulk, Stu. You have done a brilliant job today. It's been a great show. I'm so happy that Andy had the time to join us, and Poppy
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good show. And I hope the VAR room enjoyed the show also. I just want to end with bringing. I don't know if I even can play this, but I will do it anyway because it's my show. I saw this today because Garnacho has been under fire all day long, or all week long because of some fan asking him dumb questions, and you know, I don't want to go into that, but I just want to play this video. I think it was a good gesture from Garnacho, because we have some young fans, and we got to remember this when it comes to football. Bringing down our players is not always good, because we have young Man United players also.
Nice one. And he scored in that as well, yeah.
He did, yeah. What a shit.
Did he say go?
Garnacho, you got to remember.
It reminds me of the time I took Jake when he was 8, his first game, when I took Jakey.
Gotta get it signed, lad. Gotta get it signed.
Yeah. Just a quick one before we go. Tommy's in. Just a very quick one.
I just want to finish with this. I just want to tell you guys, the reason I play this, because my son, his favorite player is Garnacho. This is his shirt. He wears it all the time. You look at the commercial; it's totally worn down because he goes with it. He wears it all the time.
He goes everywhere.
Garnacho is his favorite player, and when I hear other fans go on Garnacho, especially in the fan zone before the game, it makes me feel a little bit that, are we at that stage where we are like harassing our players before game? Can't we just enjoy the game sometimes, and especially on game day, because we have many young Man United fans?
Yeah, I will criticise players on here, but I won't go down, like say, criticise them outside. I'll openly admit it. I did it at the start of the season. I did it once. It's the only time I've done it. When we lost to Liverpool, I actually pointed to Casemiro and shouted at him, "This is on you." And he looked at me and he clocked me. You know, he clocked me for them 2 mistakes. Then this is quite funny. The Carabao Cup game with Barnsley, we won 7-0. Applauding them all off. He comes over, takes his shirt off, looks at me, clocks me. "Oh, I remember you, lad. I remember you." And he gives the shirt and throws it over. And a kid, like Garnacho, gets his Casemiro shirt. And the kid showed me the shirt, and I thought, yeah, you've just thrown it back in my face. Nice one, mate. It's a two-way. I can say two-way banter, but Casemiro clocked me. Is that criticism I give him after the Liverpool game?
Yeah. But Jakey, for his sins, he's in the TRA end. He absolutely loves it in there. My season ticket, it's over in the Sir Alex stand. But Jakey chops it and goes over to the...
What tier is it? I climbed up to tier 3 yesterday.
Oh, we're in tier 1.
Andy, the fact that Casemiro clocked you, remembered you, I think that shows that, like, these players are people. They have feelings, and you know, it's always important to remember the wording, to remember how you give.
I didn't swear. I didn't swear at that thing. I just said, "This is on you, Casemiro," and he looked at me.
Yeah.
And he clocked me and remembered. I say they remember.
Yeah. It's at the end of the day, as a player, you should be able to take criticism. You should know that, like, fans are going to feel a certain type of way about your work.
You get it in the mighty Tipton town, Pappy.
You know.
The mighty Tipton.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, but they don't chuck shirts at you. They chuck stones and rocks at you.
Yeah. But the flip side of this situation is, like, even if you're playing for Tippy Town, whatever club, you should be able to have a little bit of, like, mental resilience as well, to be able to do your job. You know, not everybody in the world is going to love you. That's the unfortunate truth.
What we do, Pappy, is we just chase them off. We just run after them. Chuck a rock at me, I'll come after you. Tommy, late to the show, I know. It's absolutely true. All of that is absolutely true.
They all left.
Guys, but a brilliant show. Thanks everyone who supported us tonight.
He'll get a job within the next week or after Christmas.
He will.
He'll be in employment within the next month or so, Rudy.
Quickly, let's. Can we end on where do you think Ruud's next destination is?
Ruud's?
Yeah. Well,
West Ham.
Germany or Holland?
I say West Ham.
West Ham, yeah.
West Ham?
I think he's gonna go to La Liga. I see him.
Eric Ten Hag's next job, he'll go across. He'll replace the inflappable Arnie slot. That'd be hilarious. That would.
Oh my God!
Yeah, no, I love that. Arnie, fuck off.
Arnie at Feyenoord, yeah.
Yeah, Arnie.
Eric will coach Dortmund next. That's what I think.
I that's kind of where I thought he'd go. Yeah. I thought he'd go to Dortmund, or maybe
he'll take a
maybe Leverkusen, because Alonso will go over to Madrid, won't he? So maybe Leverkusen, but he will be in Germany. ETH.
Yeah, after Christmas, let's say Ruud and Ten Hag will take their break, and I would say in January there's going to be some sackings because the Christmas program will determine who manages stays, who goes, players needed, X, Y, and Z. So yeah.
Lopetegui, I think Lopetegui he's going pretty much done. I think Wolves will get out of trouble because I've got to be honest.
They've turned the corner now.
I like Gary O'Neill.
That 2-2 at Brighton, season defining for Wolves.
Yeah, 2-0. Yeah. So I think they'll turn a corner. So I think it'll be Lopetegui. I think Ruud ends up at West Ham.
Or City. They're constantly losing. Maybe Pep is losing his job now. 5 in a row.
He might end up at Tottenham. He might end up at Spurs. Roma.
Roma.
He could go
Roma
to
sacked the manager. Is that true? I was reading that today.
Who's the Roma man? Who was the Roma manager?
Yeah, Roma sacked their manager.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
So Ten Hag to Roma or Ruud van Nistelrooy?
Why not? Ruud has got a little bit of stock, I suppose.
He's got 4-game unbeaten run. That must count for something.
That'll go on his Manchester United CV, won't it? Or go on his CV, Manchester United 4 games unbeaten. Thank you. Tick that.
Right.
Yes. But that's the end of the show. 2 hours, 41 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to the panel. Thank you to Trebleweight for all his questions. Lucky Singh, Nash M87, Amir Fakir, Alien Tenno, Trebleweight, Lucky Singh, Milos Mitic came in at the end. Big up, Milos Mitic. Dobre večer. We have Jamie Wayne, Dav 147, Tommy Boyle 71. So many of you. I can just scroll up a little bit here.
And Andy's cat is not flinched. You know what I mean? He's not flinched, has he? Siberian tiger. Yeah, he's not done anything. Yeah, he's been there just popping over me. Yeah, he's been good.
Oh, damn.
And this cat. Everybody, if you haven't, smash the like. We are on 55 likes as we speak. 331 people watching. Almost 280 people watching us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Next time, come over to YouTube and smash the like on YouTube. That would be great. But thank you for watching the show. It's been great. We will be back next Monday. It's the international break, so we will find some topics. We will do some devil's advocate and maybe do a start bench sell yet another time. I hope you have the time next Monday. If you have, Andy, you are always welcome to join Jarvis.
I think next Monday you'll be building up to Ipswich away. What's he going to play? What's he going to do? I think that's.
Andy, you can have my spot next Monday, Andy. I've been unceremoniously benched and got rid of tonight. So yeah,
I'm just a drifter, mate. I drift.
Yeah.
No, Stu, you are my co-pilot on this ship, so you are needed.
Thank you. Big up Pappy and the broccoli. I'm going to be rinsing Pappy during the week when I'm watching him on broccoli.
Oh God! On broccoli
network.
His show on Saturday or Sunday will be Good, the Bad, and the Broccoli.
Good, the Bad, and the Broccoli.
That's what it'll be. You've just got to, just for one day, Pappy. You've just got to call it that.
End the show. Get out the t-shirt. Get out the t-shirt. The Good, the Bad, and the Broccoli.
Jarvis, end the show with.
Okay. it's time to end the show. Thank you guys for watching. It's been brilliant. We will be back next Monday, 9 p.m. If you haven't, smash a like, subscribe, whatever, leave a comment after the show. It's been fantastic. Have a good night. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.